Michael. I'm your host. I'm one of the co-founders of Wikid Publishing, and I'm joined by a couple of the Wikid creators today. Welcome, guys. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty
Buenas
good.
tardes.
For me, it's buenos mañana.
Yeah, you're right.
Right,
Keep
unfortunately.
forgetting about the whole hour thing.
I wish it was tardy.
It's funny, Canales. We were talking about time frames because I'm ahead of Mike by 3 hours, and you're ahead of me by what, like 6 hours?
Yeah, I come from the future, man. Read you news from the.
Do you have good news for the future? Please tell us what gifts you've brought us.
Well, I can tell you that definitely Trump is going to win again in 2020.
Oh no! I said good news.
Spoiler alert!
Oh damn! I hate spoilers. I like to find out on my own. But no, that is funny because I always think about how I have to get up. I got up at about 7 o'clock this morning, start getting ready for the podcast. Well, no, I didn't really get up until about 8:30 because I just laid in bed for a while actually. But
hey, that's the way I like to do it, man. Take when you first wake up. I'm not about getting up right away and getting up at the door. No, I like laying in bed for like a half hour or so, and
me too, man.
and I just get that vibe going, and then all of a sudden that energy hits, and then I'm up and going.
Right, you can't. It's kind of hard just to get going right from the get go. That's too much, man.
Yeah,
so I'll use
the opposite of a morning.
Really?
I'm the opposite of a morning person. Yeah,
really?
I don't become myself until like after lunch, something like that.
Oh, I still feel it, man. Right. So then, let me ask you this: Are you guys? Do you guys like to eat breakfast? Are you breakfast people or not?
I try to eat breakfast every day.
Really? Okay.
I do eat. Even if it's 10 o'clock, like 10:30 this morning, my sister had pancakes for me, and so I ate pancakes. I usually try to eat a bowl of oatmeal a day, and because it just gets me going. And then I may not eat as much for lunch or dinner, and stuff like that. But yep, breakfast every day. Gotta do it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm not much of a breakfast person myself. I typically just skip it and just do lunch and dinner myself. What were you gonna say though, Canals?
No, I was going to say that I have the typical Spanish breakfast. It's really nothing more than a small coffee and some bakery, like I don't know, cookies or a croissant or something like that. We don't really have a much bigger breakfast than that. So
right, you guys are light on that's right. You guys do a light breakfast, don't you?
Yeah. We're not into the whole continental breakfast thing with the beans and the bacon and blah,
blah. That's hella funny. No, that makes sense. Kind of like, keep it light, man. Keep it light. But we're joined by another creator, one of our newest creators to join the Wikid team, Alton. Welcome to the show. Can you hear us? Are you in the ether? He looks like he's in the Twilight Zone for some reason.
Tap twice if you can hear us, Alton.
Maybe if you're not coming through, try backing out and coming back in. That you can always try that, yeah. But hopefully he'll get in here. All right. But I'm excited about his comic. Did you see the post, Ebi?
Yeah, it looked really sick.
Right, I really love the story too. It's really interesting because I'm a big historical fan, so I love historical fiction. And this one seems like it'll be a really interesting.
What's awesome that I love about it? It's another comic set in Japan.
True. Yeah, that's a very good point.
So we got Sporkman. We have Star Ring. I know it's it's a manga, but still kind of fantasy and stuff like that.
That's true. That'll help when we want to bring the comics to Japan.
Yeah. So we have these great titles. That are not just talking about. I haven't gotten a chance to read Decimators yet, but I got that in, so I'm looking forward to reading Canales' work. So because I loved Iron Sights. Haven't gotten a chance to get because of me not working right now. I haven't gotten a chance to get Iron Sights too, but I definitely want to get that.
Can't wait for Iron Sights too.
Yeah, I know. It's like because I loved it. I loved the first one. I thought it was great. So
thank you.
We got these great titles, and hopefully when Alton gets back in here, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's got with his comic, learn more about it, and this is great. I mean, Wikid seriously is hitting off the charts with these great titles.
Yeah, we have like 17 or 18, I think I counted yesterday. It was like around 16 comics or so, and that's just what we have right now. So
Well, and I'm sure because then you got you have other stuff that's coming out too. You have we got Adobe all the Mythoverse episode 2 coming, being worked.
Oh, that's when I said 16, I meant 16 series.
16 series. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not just individual comics. So yeah, there's even, like you said, there's even more issues coming on the way for some of the series and stuff. So yeah, we got a lot.
So
coming on the
wow, 16 series.
Yeah, I gotta say that.
I think if I counted it right, yeah.
Wikid Comics is burgeoning, man. It's got a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, man. We're not resting on our laurels. We want to keep building and keep growing.
I mean, if you have 16 series, so let's say you got two, three out a year. That's a good for an indie. That's a good, that's a good trend because I mean, Antarctic is about the same. I think they only got like maybe 10 or 15 titles a year. But they have 3 or 4 issues a year. I mean, that's still a good, decent trend. I
think so too. It's giving people enough stuff to check out and check out different titles and kind of follow up with them and stuff.
You're not getting overloaded and backlogged. I mean, I am so backlogged right now with comics.
I feel you. I have so many on my shelf that I'm like, okay, I need to read this next, and then this next, and then this next, and then this next.
I gotta say, I'm loved by Comicsgate Comics, so I feel really proud of myself.
Really? Yeah. Oh wow, man.
Yeah, I was reading Doug Ernst's Soul Finder, and then suddenly Stealing Soul arrived, and I was just fresh out of Cyberprog, so I have a lot of stuff that I haven't read yet.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I feel really really proud of it. Really helping the cause.
Yeah, I know the indie community is really doing really awesome stuff these days. It's so awesome to see that.
Canals, I was going to ask you, since you read Soul Finder, what did you think? I loved it.
I thought it was really good. This is the first time that Doug Ernst has written a comic book. I mean, like I know he's a journalist, but he hasn't really written fiction before, right?
I think he hasn't written anything yet before. Because I know he was planning on writing a book. But then when Comicsgate kind of happened, he kind of switched gears a little bit and went to doing, comics. So
I can see. It was a good chance for him to try and become a fiction writer because it's a comic book isn't as big as a novel. So I thought it was good. It was really entertaining. Like reminded me of like this fad of satanic movies in the late 90s. I don't know if you guys remember that when The End of Days and Stigmata and all that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you got a chance to read it, Mike, yet, but fantastic title for first time out. Is it perfect? No comic is ever going to be perfect.
It's an indie comic. You have to lower your expectations a bit, especially considering that we have a lot of newbies here. A lot of people making comics are like first timers, so gotta cut them some slack.
And once you've been working on it for a while, you'll get better. So Alton's back.
Yep.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hey man, how's it going?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you all right. Thank
He's made contact.
Yeah, I appreciate you joining, man. Sorry you're having some issues there, but seems like you got all worked out. So
yeah, I tried to go the phone, but I just had
really
the browser. So
Oh really? Huh? So the phone wasn't working for you, huh?
No, it wasn't. But we're good now. Sounds like you guys are a great show, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're having fun, just chatting it up a little bit, and I know the app is experimental on the phone. I think they're still working on it, so that's probably why it's not 100% there yet.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, what are you up to this weekend?
Nothing, man. I'm actually currently writing, but other than that, pretty much
nice.
Nothing.
What you're writing on? Is it for that new Viking thing you've been teasing?
Yeah, I've been working on that.
Man.
Chapter 4.
It's looking good, man. Yeah, it's looking good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I love that artist you're working with too, because I've been really admiring his stuff for a while too.
Yeah, man, CT's awesome. I've been looking at his stuff for a while as well, and I was like, man, I got to save up some money so I can hopefully grab him. He's a great artist, man. So I was like, yo, I got to develop something just for his art.
Oh, that was smart, man. Yeah, I think it really fits his style.
Most definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But Canals, sorry, I forget. Were we in the middle of Talking about something I quite remember.
Nothing too important. I was just saying that I really liked Assault Thunder. I thought it was a really good comic, especially for a first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys going to be picking up any new crowdfunding books in the near future?
I did back White Widow issue 4. That's the only one right now. I'm still waiting for a lot of other stuff to come in. I just did get Black and White in, by the way.
Oh, nice. How's it look, man? How's it looking?
It looks pretty good. I haven't had a chance to read it. Like I said, I'm behind on comics right now. I do hopefully plan on reading it here because I want to kind of get a review out. I know nice. I did Soul Finder, I did Black Hops, but I do definitely want to get a review out for it. So once again, my only issue was I waited for that over a year. So that's a big thing.
What I'm really looking forward to is Crescent City Monsters. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that one, but it's really interesting. I backed the first campaign, and I just bought the second issue on a store, and the third one's coming out on Kickstarter this month. And it takes place in New Orleans, and it's kind of about like a bounty hunting demon slayer. And
that's got a lot of
the art
sounds good.
Yeah, dude, it's good, man. You guys should look at it. The art is really good. It's all black and white, super striking. I really enjoy it.
You gotta drop a link for that. I really want to read.
Oh yeah, let me put up. I'll put up the page for his store too. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool stuff, man.
What's it called, Mike?
Crescent City Monsters. And I really dig the vibe of it. It's by Dream Fury Comics. I don't know if you've seen him that account on Twitter.
I have not.
Okay. I'm trying to find a good link here. Oh, here it is. So that's one I'm backing. Here it is. Oh, yep, I found it. So this Kickstarter is for issues 1 through 3, so you'll be able to pick up the other couple ones as well.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Mecca, thanks for joining us. Mecca in the chat. No, yeah, that should be cool. And like I said, yeah, I really enjoyed the art on that one as well. But
that looks awesome,
right? Yeah, it's definitely got a really cool vibe to it, and so I love supernatural stuff. So I was definitely drawn to it immediately.
He's kind of got a little vibe of like Zetascope going on there with how they do their art and stuff like that. That looks really cool. I like that image. The Papa, voodoo type character.
Right. Yeah.
The art reminds me of Gary Frank.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I definitely say put that on my list once they launch it. So I think I am definitely there to.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be picking up. I missed the second one. I don't know because I wasn't. I just somehow missed it. So I'm glad I'll be able to back the third one.
How'd you find out about the book?
How did I find out about? That's a good question, actually. I think if I remember correctly, I may have just been looking on Kickstarter in the comic section, kind of browsing. I may have just stumbled upon it or no, what? I think I must have seen him on his Twitter because he follows me on Twitter, Dream Fury Comics.
Yeah.
And that's in fact, I'll put the tag up there too. So I don't know if I can't. It was either I found it on my own or I found it on Twitter. I believe is one of the two ways I would have found it.
Okay, I'm actually following him. I see what you're talking.
Oh, you do. You follow him as well. Okay, nice, man. Yeah.
This guy myself.
Do you as well?
Yeah, no, I didn't know him, but I'm going to definitely go follow this guy. Yeah, I really like his stuff.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. He's a good guy in the community, and I think he's doing good work here. So, yeah, happy to get his promoted stuff. It's I always love seeing new creators put stuff out on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Seems like people especially when they can find multiple success where you come back for issue 1, issue 2, issue 3.
His artist is from the Philippines. So, wow,
wow,
yeah, getting a lot of people from the Philippines. What's awesome is I love that this is one of the great things that the indie community has really done, in my opinion. Our artist is from Indonesia. Juniper and other, Rags, and there's other people whose artists are from, the Philippines. We're really opening up, bringing people in from all around the world into comics that we would normally may have not gotten the chance to do stuff. And this is what I love about the whole indie community. It's like,
tell me about it. If someone had told me like 10 years ago that I would be drawing comics for the same guy who has employed Jack Dixon, me being from some godforsaken hellhole in the northern seaboard of Spain, I would have laughed at his face. Look at me now.
And my friend Rodrigo down in Mexico, he's got some great stuff going on there. He works with Ed Ben's studio. Rodrigo Yabanes, who did Red Ninja Mumiji. It's amazing that what we got going on here, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to the breadth of people that we're able to work with, and just from all around the world. For example, Alton, you might not know what Chuck was referring to exactly there, but Ibai actually lives in Spain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I have another. So yeah, he working with people over here. It's like that's pretty awesome stuff, and he's worked with Richard C. Meyer on Iron Sights, and so he's done some cool stuff. But myself personally, I got my artist also lives in Spain. I have an artist, Dan. He lives in Spain, and then we've worked with other artists from I know Cody's worked with people from Madrid, and all over the place. So it's pretty amazing just the amount of people globally that we can connect with and work with, and so.
I was gonna say you guys are global. Like this is
like
right, man.
like us and Brett's colorist lives in Britain or in Britain, so we definitely are very global. And it's awesome. I love it. I love seeing people, the amount of creativity that all around, that is just there.
Yeah, no, it is nice, the community of artists and creators that we've built up here. And it's only going to keep getting bigger and better from here.
Guys, I have a question. Speaking of, because I'm new to the whole writing scene. What is like the route that you guys choose to go as far as Indiegogo or Kickstarter? Like, what is the difference? And like, what guys have you seen more success on? If that's sorry to derail the entire.
No, that's a great question. No, that's great, man.
We did both.
Okay.
What we did was because I the way I thought about this is because I've heard from some people like backers that were on Kickstarter did not when the creator moved over to Indiegogo, because Indiegogo's format's a little bit nicer in terms of they charge you right up front. The money comes out, you don't have to worry about it as a backer. Okay. So as a creator, once they get the money, it's there. You know what I mean? Whereas Kickstarter, if you don't get funded, and they bill on the back end of it. So you don't make your goal, the person doesn't get charged. So those are those things to think about. It's been a hit or a miss. Like we actually raised majority of our money in Indiegogo. We didn't get fully funded, but we had enough because of our goal was a flex goal. We went with enough money to get our colorists done. And then we raised a little extra on Kickstarter, so that way we can get people on there. And we actually ended up getting between the two platforms 120 backers.
Okay.
So I think it's both, because there are people. The way I look at it is do both of them as a creator. You could offer different things for both platforms. Now Dan, the guys from Mythoverse, they raised $6,000 on Kickstarter. So. Both are good. I think. See what I would.
And then there's also Machi, right?
Yes, Machi did both.
Yep. Or Raven did rather.
Yeah, Raven did both. So yeah, that's just my opinion. I think both are great. You're not that way. You're hitting the most people as possible.
Yeah. Raven, who has Machi the Lazy Witch, she did first on Kickstarter, and then she did after she finished that, she did an Indiegogo for the same book to raise more funds, and it worked out. I think she got $6,000 on Indiegogo.
Yeah, 6K on Indiegogo. I think she got another 2,000 on
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. The other way around. The other way.
Okay.
So,
6,000 on Kickstarter and 2,000 on Kickstarter. And that's probably mostly because she was doing a second campaign to add additional funds. So, but yeah, that's something to consider. You might do as well.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely. I know. You can also talk to Cody, from Cowboy _Steel, and also Jeremy Lott. They both have done campaigns, and they have a lot of great wealth of information they can share with you as well. Would be valuable resources.
My last question is, because again, I'm trying to soak up all this knowledge. I call myself like I'm a sponge. So like, what happens if like you don't successfully get a campaign? Like if it doesn't work out, like what happens with the money raised and all that stuff?
It goes back to the like for instance, we failed our first campaign. I'll give you that. So we failed our first Indiegogo. That was last September, right? I think, Mike, if I remember correctly.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah. So we failed our first one, and now we had a really high goal, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. So now we did raise almost 3/4 of the money, so it just went right back to the backers. Okay. Nothing like you didn't get like any bills from Indiegogo or anything like that. It just went right back to the backers. I even followed up with the backers just to make sure. Say, hey, I know we didn't get funded. Did you guys get the refunds? So, and Kickstarter's the same way. You know, since they bill on the back end, your campaign doesn't get successfully funded. They don't bill the customer for anything.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
It is worth. I was going to say, Chuck. It would be worth mentioning to him the difference between fixed and a flexible goal as well. I think.
Right. So a fixed goal is, for instance, like it's a guaranteed amount that you need for funding. Okay. For instance, give you an example. So let's say you need $2,000 to print and ship the book. Okay. That is your fixed goal. All right. A flex goal is, let's say it's the bare minimum you can actually use to actually get the book out. Give an example. For us, our flex goal, we had $5,500 was enough to pay for shipping, handling, printing, and colorist and letterer. Okay. Our main goal, though, was our flexible goal was we needed at least $2,500 to pay for our colorist. Okay. We raised that money, so we were able to pay for the colorist. I took over instead of being able to hire a letterer. I'm like, okay, we can't hire a letterer. I will actually take over that, and then we're going to handle the shipping and handling, and everything was already built into that too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So those are important things to look about. We do want to actually have. I know Mike and I were talking about this last night and before. We really want to do like a stream where people understand what the differences are, Kickstarter and stuff like that. Because Mike really ties into that whole thing too. Because they get part of that and they handle a lot of the shipping and printing and stuff like that. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And we're gonna. I have a tentative title. Well, I didn't mention it last night, Chuck, but. I was thinking maybe something called like Indie Pub 101.
Yeah.
Or something along that line. So basically kind of the idea would be a series of informational videos that the creators and us as publishers, we can upload. And
that's a very good idea, because I see a lot of newcomers trying to publish their own stuff, push their own campaigns, and they have no idea. And just as the case of Felton, they have to go around asking people, and I think that will be a very good thing to do, to help the community out on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what we were looking to. Yeah, we want to help out with that, and because I know there's a lot of stuff you don't realize. I think going into it,
It's a common question. I'll just be honest with you. On our stream, we generally get 1 or 2 people every stream asking, "Hey, I'm looking to do my own comic, just like you. You have your own comic out there, but how do you get it out to the masses? How do you get it, printed in hands with people?" So us having that idea and that information, what's great is, Eric and I have been self-published for 13 years. We were doing our own thing before, we met Mike and those guys through Cody. But now we have this other access. So I'm willing to give out the wealth of knowledge that I know, and then Mike can fill into whatever he has and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And then anyone else who feels that they can share valuable stuff can contribute as well. I think that's the beauty of that new show. will be that or it'll be something that anyone can really participate in if they would like to. It can be on a variety of topics too, as well. So yeah, I think that'll be cool. I think. We had our business meeting last night about a bunch of new podcasts and shows that we're going to be developing for this year. So yeah, we're very excited about a lot of the stuff that we got going on. Speaking of shows, have you guys been watch much TV? Have time for much TVs these days, movies or anything like that?
I've been watching The Mandalorian, and I gotta say, I'm not going to say that I love it, but I like it, and that's a lot. That's a lot coming from me because I live only to hate.
Yeah, I would say I've been watching. I've been in this Netflix binge recently, man.
Oh, really?
I haven't been watching Netflix until like maybe a couple of weeks ago.
That's so funny.
Man, I've been watching this show. Have you guys heard called You?
Yep.
Yeah, about the stalker guy, right?
Like I think I'm moving towards this new genre of light because I'm an action guy, heart by heart, right through and through. Mm-hmm. But recently, I've been watching like these, murder mysteries and stuff. Like that stuff is actually good. And this You, and then a movie called Knives Out. I don't know if you.
I saw Knives Out. I saw that one.
Like I can't get enough of this genre. So like I've been in this Netflix binge of that type of stuff.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. You interesting. I'll have to check that one out. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty good show. I have to agree. Netflix is really this year has been hitting out the park on what they got good. I watched Witcher, finished that. Lost in Space season 2.
How is Lost in Space?
Oh, I love it. If you ever watch the original Lost in Space, it's all about the family. Well, they kind of expanded it a lot more. There's a lot of family focus, but then there's also a lot dealing with like the mission actually to Alpha Centauri.
Okay.
So fantastic show, in my opinion. The writers there are hitting it off the charts completely, 100%. I love it. Great. All the actors are wonderful. So that's, great. Highly recommend that show. Okay. Witcher was fantastic. The only thing is a lot of time jumping. If you can handle time jumps, you have to pay attention.
Right. I honestly couldn't follow the first episode. I got really confused.
Yeah, because the time jumps are very, very weird. There's they did a new Dracula.
I watched that Dracula. That's really good.
Yep,
that's good too. So
yeah, that one's done by Frederator, I think, isn't it? I'm not sure you guys are familiar with that, but they did a lot of the Nickelodeon stuff, animated stuff back in the day.
I know that the Dracula show is being written by the Doctor Who guy, right? Right, Russell whatever.
Yeah,
Davies, I think.
Ooh.
What is that?
The Dracula, the new Netflix Dracula adaptation. I think it's being written or developed by one of the Doctor Who guys. I don't know if it's Russell T. Davies, one of these guys. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I need to catch up on that. Everyone says they love Castlevania. Like I've only heard. Oh wait, you said Dracula. Oh, that's why I got confused. That's why I got confused.
Dracula is being actually written by Warren Ellis from.
Oh wait, so is it a live action Dracula or?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was totally confused.
Yeah, it's only like 6 or 7 episodes.
Oh, interesting.
Or 3.
I didn't know that.
It's actually I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes, but still.
How is it?
I like it. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
I watched the first episode. My sister watched all 3. She loved it. And it is a little bit different from like your mainstream Dracula. But that's
most definitely.
But speaking of the Castlevania, by the way, that's another great series I would highly recommend. If you like the old style, 90s anime action, highly recommend Dracula or not Dracula, but Castlevania.
It's Castlevania. I don't know is it written or directed by. Do you guys know who Adi Shankar is? I don't think I'm saying his name correctly. He was like he got famous from doing like the YouTube what is it, the bootleg universe where he did like the adult version of and stuff. Like because I'm looking at his Twitter, he has like Castle. I don't know if is he a director or a writer, or I don't know what he does, but
I think he is like really I think he does like a lot of set stuff, like paneling and stuff like that. I think he's definitely involved with it.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to start watching it because like he is like my inspiration of it. Like he makes everything dark, especially I don't know if you guys seen that bootleg Power Ranger movie that he made. That was probably like one of the greatest iterations on Power Rangers. And
get this.
Yeah, he's amazing, man.
So yeah, he developed the show.
Yeah,
it says he developed the show and it was written by Warren Ellis.
Yep.
Which is like, whoa.
It was written by who?
Warren Ellis, the comic book writer. Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's a pretty
it actually adapted the first two Castlevania 3.
Wow. Now I gotta catch that. I didn't realize that. He's one of my favorite writers.
Yeah.
So. And if you say, this guy's got some really cool stuff too, like that sounds like a great combination right there.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, have you seen that Power Ranger? I keep bringing it up. That Power Ranger you do. I gotta send that to the chat. This guy
in the chat,
he's off his rocker, but he's brilliant. So
if you put it in the chat on Twitter, I can post it on the YouTube link.
Okay.
So everyone can check it out.
Yeah, for his controversial bootleg universe.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's exactly where it's
controversial, huh?
Is it the same guy who made like the Punisher bootleg short movie?
Yes, that was on the Punisher one, right?
That was great.
He also did he did Dread, Machine Gun Preacher. He was executive producer for all these. Walk Among the Tombstone. So yeah, he's definitely got a good, decent amount of stuff on his back. And look here, Power Rangers, Judge Dredd, Venom, Punisher, James Bond, Mr. Rogers, and End of Pokemon.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon trailer thing. This guy, the way he thinks, like, and the reason why I like him is because he takes these childhood things and makes them dark. I mean, as dark as but especially Power Rangers. Like you think about the whole idea. You're talking about kids who are definitely going to go through PTSD fighting these wars, and it's like it's not all friendly. So it's pretty cool. I like his mindset.
Oh, that's really interesting, huh? I like that take on it. That's cool.
Interesting. So he got I didn't know this. He had James Vanderbeek and Katie Sackhoff for that one.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Thomas Jane for the Punisher one.
Yeah, I actually remember hating the 2003 or what year was it the Thomas Jane Punisher movie, and then I saw the short film and I thought this is amazing. I want to see a full Punisher movie with this guy now.
It's how Ryan Reynolds effect, It's the Ryan Reynolds effect, how he goes from Green Lantern and bad Deadpool to now being the good Deadpool. Like he, you can see there's good and bad versions of the same character with Deadpool.
Well, Kenneth, how do you feel about the Punisher show with John Bertho?
Oh yes, love that. Yes, love that. Highly recommend.
I love that shit too, man. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be hated for this, but I think that the 1989 movie with Dolph Lundgren hasn't been topped. I
haven't seen it myself.
I know, but it's pretty much like one of the all-time Punisher comics.
It is technically close.
It's exactly like an all-time Punisher comic book. The only thing that I don't like in that movie is the fact that he's in a sport in the skull on the chest. But apart from that, it's very faithful.
Right.
That's what they said. They said that version of the Punisher is actually the closest to the comic versus any of the other Punishers.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'll check it out sometime. Maybe if it's on Amazon or something. Check it out.
It's on my Plex server.
You have everything on your Plex server, man.
Actually, I will not kid you. I just lost a 4 terabyte drive.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Jesus Christ.
Wiped out like my whole heart.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I can't get my heart fixed.
It's like in a movie, like you'd fall to your knees. No.
It will be justified if you ask me.
Right? I'd probably do that too.
Yeah, man. I live and die by movies and stuff like that. Like for me,
dude,
I'm constantly having a movie on.
Okay, let me tell you.
On that though.
There's one I'm really looking forward to for Netflix this year, and it's the new Ghost in the Shell standalone complex season. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but they're making a new season for the anime, and it's called 2045.
Yep.
I haven't.
And Yeah, dude, it's gonna be so cool. It's not quite the same animation style. It's more a bit of like a CG style.
Right.
But I love the story. That's one of my favorite shows to go in the standalone complex. And so it'll be nice to see some more stories from that.
Yeah, they just got the first 3 episodes of Arise too, which is
who did Amazon?
Netflix.
Oh, Netflix. Oh, Netflix. Oh, right. Right. Oh,
yeah. They just got the first couple episodes of Arise. Now that's slightly set before standalone complex in another universe, but highly recommended though. I mean, it's a great
good stuff, huh?
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, we have people in the chat writing things, and we're completely ignoring their asses. We're terrible.
Mecha Studios asked, "Has anyone seen the Owl House?"
I have not.
I don't even know what that is.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not too familiar with that myself. Is that a Netflix show, Mecha? You'll have to let us know.
Yeah, I need some new shows to watch, Mecha. So.
Yeah, do you watch mostly live action? Do you watch any anime, Alton, at all?
So I got Hulu and I watch my anime on that. But
Nice.
as far as like Netflix, have you guys heard? So the shows that I'm watching that are cartoons on Netflix are BoJack Horseman and F is for Family. Have you guys heard that?
Wait, what was the second one?
Yeah.
No.
What was the second one? Sorry.
F is for Family.
Oh, I have heard of that. Yeah. It's a spin, or it's by the same creators as which I think with BoJack Horseman possibly, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
So, yeah, man. So like, Bill Murray is the main character on F is for Family, but BoJack Horseman has to be one of the I know nobody's gonna one of the greatest cartoons I think I've ever watched, from start to finish, and the final season is about to come out.
Oh my god,
it's amazing!
It's gonna leave me a wreck, man. They better not do it to me, man. They've been doing it to me for 5 seasons or so, and I'm like, just come on, give me a break here.
I know, right?
No, it's such a good show. No, I love that show, but it's like it is so hard to watch sometimes.
Yes,
it's so dark,
depressing at times.
Yeah, dude.
You got to get away from it.
The most depressing stuff is coming from animation lately. Fight me.
They have dark stuff, man. It's because they're doing new stuff, like new ideas, not remakes of things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hollywood, if you ask me, is dead. It's become like a porn factory, except porn is nostalgia and CGI and big effects and all that. But story-wise, Hollywood's dead.
Okay, Martin Scorsese.
Am I wrong though? Am I wrong?
I think mainstream Hollywood is dead, but I think there's still a lot of overly independent stuff. Like, the way I see is like the grindhouses of like Netflix, Hulu, because they're really grindhouse. If you come back to it, Netflix, Hulu, they're not even though they're owned by mainstream companies, they're not the mainstream movie theaters. I think they're taking over, in my opinion. Like watching Witcher, I'll give an example. To me, felt like I was watching Lord of the Rings, and it felt like I felt like pulled into the universe because the characters were great, the story was great, and I think that's the way we're going. I don't know if you guys saw 6 Underground with Ryan Reynolds, Michael Bay.
Michael Bay movie, right?
Yeah, it's a Michael Bay movie. Then you have the one that just came out. Yeah, well, you also just have like 8 Code done by the guy, the brother Steve Amell and stuff like that. Like, there's some really good stuff coming out from Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that. Who cares about going to the movie theaters?
I was going to ask too, to piggyback off that. Are you guys getting tired of the MCU and the DC stuff? Like, are you guys getting fatigued of that?
Yes,
to a degree. To a degree, I think. Like, I think. I how can I say it? Like, the last films, like for me, haven't been like impressive. Like, I felt Infinity Wars was definitely like the top title, and then from there, like.
No. Well, come on, you got to give Endgame some credit, man. Endgame was good. Endgame was good, man. Endgame was a good finale,
the Avengers movies are the ones that I like the least, and the ones that I like the most are like smaller, like more alternative movies, like Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is probably my favorite MCU universe.
I see where you're going.
Yeah, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
which are two comic books that I never really liked because I'm more of the Batman, Wolverine, Punisher type. But I really like those 2 movies because I think they're like genre movies. Know what I mean?
And I can agree on that. Yeah, because I think one of my favorite movies, and I know I'm going to get killed for this, is Doctor Strange in MCU, because it wasn't like this whole super battle fight. It was like more intellectual, and it was like behind the scenes type stuff. And also another one that I like, and I know again I'm gonna get killed, Captain Marvel. It just seemed like a different movie than the entire universe. And I kind of like those switches, especially the Joker too, from the DC side. Joker was a good movie to me too, and it wasn't about like, you know, superheroes fighting. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, more of a character type guy. You know what I mean? Because yeah, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it kind of begs the question though, like maybe now that, you know, this kind of era is over, could it lead to more opportunities to do movies like that where it is more character driven?
Well, I think he already had it, you know, because if you look at the original Batman trilogy, you had that character, because those 3 films by Chris Nolan, they were not superhero films at all.
True, yeah. Not really, again.
Yeah, in your traditional sense. I think with the MCU, they got away from that traditional sense where you're making a superhero film. It wasn't like it to me, like Batman was a crime movie. You know, it was a crime movie completely all the way through. It just so happened to have a superhero in it. It's the same thing with Doctor Strange and, you know, Winter Soldier. These other, like Winter Soldier, that's a spy film.
Yep,
100%.
That's like an over the top spy film, like with fantastic and cyberpunk elements and whatnot. But still, at its core, it's still like an old fashioned spy movie.
You're right.
Okay, so what do you think about Civil War then?
I love Civil War.
Okay, cool. Because
it was okay.
So I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, like to the T, and I feel like that was the best as far as like the MCU. That was the best iteration of Spider-Man that I've seen, even better than Homecoming and Far From Home. Like if I go and I turn on Civil War, like to me, like that's Spider-Man.
Because he's quibbing. Yeah, he's quibbing. He's got the puns and everything. I felt with Far From Home and Homecoming, he didn't have that.
Right.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah,
you know, I think Spider-Man suffers from the same thing that the Hulk does. He's better as a second-tier character versus a single-tier character.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, if you look at the trend, it's just the way he is as his character. He's free not to be focused on. You know what I mean? And I think like Alton said, he hit that mark so much more. But Homecoming and Far From Home were lackluster, in my opinion. You know, now I didn't care for Doctor Strange. What ruined it for me was the ending.
Yeah.
Why?
Because Marvel has an issue of doing bad villain. They cannot get their villains right.
They've done a few good ones.
Red Skull.
I don't think that's really a problem with Marvel, because you're really rooting for the good guys. And yeah, I mean a good villain in Iron Man, for example, would have been like a nice addition. But you were actually there to watch Iron Man because you like
Black
the guy.
Panther. Black Panther had a really great villain.
Black Panther's probably one of Black Panther and Red Skull. In my opinion, the ones that were correct were Killmonger, Red Skull, and Winter Soldier, because technically Bucky is a villain. And Killmonger. I said Killmonger.
Here's the thing about Black Panther. I didn't really like the movie because I thought the point of view was wrong. Because there really wasn't anything else to tell about T'Challa. But if you had made that movie about Killmonger, you know, about a black kid who lives in a bad neighborhood, and he's like going around telling everyone that he descends from this royal African family, and everyone makes fun of him, and he makes the mission of his life to like find his heritage and go back to Africa and reclaim his throne. That would have been a much better story, much more.
Well, I think they imply it though in the subtext essentially.
That was definitely implied, but that's the story that I wanted to see.
My thing with Black Panther is like I like the movie, right? I give it like maybe a 7.5 out of 7 or 7 out of 10, right? But my problem with Black Panther is we didn't get a superhero movie, and that's what I wanted from Black Panther. Like, if you go back and watch Civil War, and I joke with everybody on this. Civil War was a better Black Panther movie than Black Panther. And I'm serious, and I'm not trying to. I hope nobody takes it the wrong way and trying to make me anti whatever. But if you go back and look at Civil War, Black Panther was on another level. Like the fighting style, he was like, I felt this character.
The thing about Black Panther is that his character arc was already complete in Civil War. There wasn't anything else to tell about the character. Yeah, that's it. Civil War is the Black Panther movie.
Right.
Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, I hadn't considered that perspective. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. Huh. Maybe they'll do better in the next one. Then hopefully maybe it'll be more superhero. Like since they've kind of done.
I'm just wondering who will be the father figure that they will kill this time, because he has already lost like 2 father figures. How many have left?
Poor guy.
Come on, man. 2's enough already.
But yeah, there's a lot of movies coming out this year. They have the 7 Rings movie. I think there's another Marvel movie.
Shang-Chi. I'm looking forward to Shang-Chi. I'm a huge Shang-Chi fan. I really. Yeah, we're actually getting the Mandarin in proper form too.
Is that coming out this year?
Yeah,
I believe so.
I believe. Let me double check. Let me make sure.
There's 2 movies coming out for Marvel this year at least, and then a couple from DC, I think.
Shang-Chi. Let me see here. Legends of the Ten Rings. No, it is 2021.
Okay. Can you check what movies coming out this year? I know there's a couple, and I also heard for the Shang-Chi. Sorry, I can't pronounce it very well. Shang-Chi. No, I'm not, man. I'm not. I swear. No. Something I heard about that show is that they're going to replace the Iron Fist from the TV show, the actor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Iron Fist is going to be in the movie, and he's going to be replaced.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So this year it's Black Widow and Eternals.
Oh, right. That makes more sense.
And next year it's Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange and the 3rd Spider-Man film. And Thor: Love and Thunder.
And then you also have the TV shows on Disney Plus that will be coming out this year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I got Disney Plus for. I probably could have waited, but the Mandalorian kind of held me over. I'm ready for the Winter Soldier and the Falcon. I'm ready for that series.
That is going to be an awesome series.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly why I want to get Disney Plus as well, is just because I kind of want to check out that stuff.
I think Anthony Mackie is going to roll. I think he's going to rule that role of him being the new, basically the new Captain America. I think he's going to do fantastic because I love Anthony Mackie. I think he's a great actor. So I can't wait to see what they do with that. I hope they kind of make it like a actual spy thriller type show. That it's both of them doing, teaming up together to take out Baron von. Because I think the actor who played in
Von Strucker.
Yeah. I think he's back.
He's still alive. Didn't he die in like Age of Ultron or whatever?
No,
somehow keep coming back.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, well, yeah, well, whatever. I mean, if Palpatine can come back, why not Von Strucker? I mean, who cares anymore?
Right.
Yeah, but the guy who was in the other villain is going to be the guy who was in Winter Soldier, Civil War. The bad guy who was in Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about Taskmaster? Wait, no.
No, not Taskmaster. The other guy. Remember who was setting everything up?
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
Yeah, Demo. Yeah.
Zemo's going to be back too.
Oh man, bringing everybody back. All the old villains, classics. I like it though. That's perfect because that is their style. That's what that whole arc of, like you said with Winter Soldier, that's part of what made it was so interesting, because it had these elements of like a Cold War, or like these elements of from the past, and all these super soldiers and all that. It was very, like you said, a very interesting genre, kind of taking away from the usual superhero story. So I love Winter Soldier as well. That one was really good. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the new ones.
I can say that I'm mildly interested in the Morbius movie, but only because I was a big Midnight Suns fan when I was a kid.
I'm sorry, what?
The Morbius movie?
But you said there's something about your childhood?
Yeah. Is it my shitty connection at work again?
No. Sorry, I just think I misunderstood. No, it was.
I said that I'm vaguely enthusiastic about the new Morbius movie with Jared Leto. Morbius the vampire.
Yeah.
The living vampire. But only because I'm a huge Midnight Suns fan.
I just really hope they do not butcher that character the way they allowed him to butcher Joker.
I don't even know which universe he's supposed to be in, because isn't like the Vulture in it?
Yeah, I think so. I think what's going on is Sony is going to share that universe for a little bit. So, and what I think is they're setting up is because Morbius is going to be, I feel like, in a Blade film or something sometime. Yeah. So they're kind of leaving that open. I don't think that they're saying like, hey, like he's, you know what I'm saying, he's a Marvel character. I think they're like letting them bridge each other's work, because eventually, you know, Spider-Man is going to go back to Sony, and the only way he can really go back to Sony, and you can't just discount all his events that happen in MCU. So I feel like they're trying to make a bed for Sony while bridging that gap somehow. I mean, for Spider-Man while bridging that gap somehow. So
yeah,
that makes sense. Like, keep it together for now, and then slowly ease their way out so they can just do their own thing down the line for Sony.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think he has like 2 or 3 more films with the MCU, and then he's going to go back to Sony. So
that'll be interesting. Yeah.
Which unfortunately,
I'm excited.
Which Sony has a really bad track, you know.
What'd you guys think of the what was it, the Venom movie?
I liked it.
I liked it. Yeah,
I heard a popular belief. I liked it just because, again, it was a different movie than what we're accustomed to seeing in superheroes. But also, Brock and Venom's relationship, that did it for me. Like, I like how I think Tom Hardy's a great actor, first of all. And with those two, and with his acting in Venom, I felt like that was like a perfect combination. Like, I think he's perfect for the Venom role.
I liked it, but I thought it had like 2 major flaws. Major, if you want to call them that. One of them is that Eddie Brock is portrayed as a troubled hero, when in the comic books he's like a psychopath who's trying to be like a good guy and failing miserably all the time. Like, he doesn't know how to hero. He always makes things worse, and that's a trait that I really like from the character. I think it humanizes him, because he's like, you know, he's a serial killer basically, but he's trying not to be. And the other, I don't know, I thought that someone like heavily edited the movie, and I felt like there were scenes missing, and I don't know, I felt like kind of like lifeless, like going through the motions.
I mean, they're coming out with the second one this year, so hopefully they get, I know what you mean by the Venom, though. Hopefully they get that back on track.
I think personally, I enjoyed the first one. I think that the only issue was probably the final fight scene. It was good, but it was out of place. But I think I enjoyed the comedy aspects, because I'm not necessarily coming from a comic book reader perspective. I'm just coming from a person who just enjoys.
The chemistry between the 2 leads, between Eddie Brock and the symbiote, was great. I really enjoyed it.
It was hilarious.
Back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So here's my opinion on it. Loved it. I enjoyed the film too. Here's the thing. I don't think he was Eddie Brock.
Right. That might be the
He's closer to Flash Thompson than he is Eddie Brock.
Yeah, he's actually closer to Toxin.
You're saying like he's like Agent Venom almost.
Yeah, I think he is a cross between the two. Basically, what they did was they took elements from Flash Thompson and elements from Eddie Brock, and they kind of melded them into making this new character. You know,
does anyone remember Toxin?
Toxin.
Yeah, Toxin. Toxin was like one of Venom's several offspring, and he emerged with a New York City cop, and that's pretty much the character. I mean, he's the cop is like the typical Irish good guy with a cop dad, and he's got the symbiote inside of him, forcing him to kill people, and he doesn't want to, and it's the old story. And I felt that it was more like Toxin than Venom.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, wow. But I think honestly, once again, here you come back to, that was not your typical, superhero film. It was it was basically, a drama set with some comedy, and hey, let's just throw the superhero element into it.
Well, maybe with a change of director, it'll probably change that entire pace, which I think is, I forgot who's the new director for Venom, but I don't know. I
think it's Andy Serkis, of all people.
Yep, Andy Serkis is the director.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, he's directing the sequel.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
But you know what? Andy Serkis is a great
He's awesome, dude.
He's awesome.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think maybe we might have a good, but they are bringing looks like Woody Harrelson to be Carnage again. Pretty much everybody's back.
Yeah, dude, that'll be good. Woody Harrelson's should be interesting.
Quick question: what do you guys feel about the Batman? I know it comes out next.
Oh
year,
right, I forgot about that.
But secretly they have been doing some amazing castings. Like it's gonna be. I feel like the casting wise, it looks good.
Really? Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, they got Robert Pattinson as Batman. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but Andy Serkis is playing Alfred. And they got some more individuals. Paul Dino's playing Riddler. So they got some.
You know what I've heard about Robert Pattinson is that despite him having been in the Twilight movies, he's actually a really good actor and has done a lot of really cool indie movies and stuff like that. So I could see it.
I've seen him in a bunch of like low budget indie movies, and he was really good. Like, really? There was this one called Fun Time, which is filmed in New York in like natural scenery, like in the streets of New York and in parks and whatnot. It's really a really tense, tragicomical thriller, and he's really good in that. I think he is a really good actor. Not so sure he's a good choice for Batman. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Excuse me. I don't know.
I'm kind of leaving it open to see where they go with it. Because I'm just, I really enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman.
I did too.
I felt, no, say what you say about Ben as an actor. I just felt he really embodied the original Batman that Bob Finger and Bill Kane created. Because, he wasn't afraid to take on people. He was busting heads and stuff like that. To me, that was great.
He made me fear Batman again. To be complete, he made me fear the Bat, which I felt like Batman runs. Like, he is the Batman where I know, like, if I screw up, like, I'm getting my kneecap kicked in or something like that. Like, I understand this Batman you can't really play with. So
yeah, and you, I mean, I thought now. Justice League unfortunately kind of ruined him for me, but I thought in BVS he was just fantastic. I would have really liked to seen a separate Batman film for him.
I just wish he killed less people in BVS. That's all. That is all. Oh man, did I kill anyone?
You killed you kill us all.
Because like an artery to burst with that statement. I just wish that Batman killed less people in BVS. That's all. Apart from that, I enjoyed the portrait.
See,
I thought it was a pretty good Batman.
But you remember a lot
that's
of people
been a new thing going around on Twitter too. Like, should Batman kill? Or not a new thing. I'm pretty sure it's been going on for some time, but that's been I guess a interesting debate, shall I say.
Well, keep in mind, originally the whole reason why they came up with, I don't know if you guys saw the epic rap battle between Joker and Pennywise. Joker says the line, he's like, in his first appearance, he was meant to be slain by Batman. They came up with the rule because they didn't want to run out of villains for Batman. Hence, they came up with the no-kill rule for him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I understand that at the beginning it was like a practical decision to have like recurring villains, but over time I think it's become like an ethos of the character that he doesn't want to kill because he doesn't want to be as bad as the people he arrests.
It's like Rurouni Kenshin.
Right, but I think if you understand though, if you understand the context of BVS of the fact of he's already been driven.
I guess, but that's I'm not going to say that it makes a bad portrayal of Batman. I'm just saying I would love to see like a classic Batman.
That's why I think if we saw it before, like everything with the Joker, doing what he did, I think Ben would be fantastic. So I wish we could have gotten it. Unfortunately, DC just DC's being DC. They need to go back to creating single films, stop trying to do a shared universe, and that's just my take on it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They were definitely trying to pull like an Avengers initiative in like just 2 hours.
Ibai, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Do you think that there are like theories about how much the Batman is based on the Shadow. Where do you fall on that? Like, how much is Batman based on the Shadow?
Yeah, I think he's pretty based on the Shadow to the point that he was like sporting a 45 in his first appearances. Like, I think he's like based both on the Shadow and the Phantom. I think it is in English. Like the guy with the he's definitely like a pulp hero. So yeah, I guess he's based on the Shadow. I mean, he has the whole trained on an exotic Oriental place thing, and coming back to the big city as a guy who uses his fortune to fight crime and all that. So yeah.
Okay.
Huh. That's interesting. By the way, welcome, Jeremy.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Alton, I don't think we've been introduced. Hi.
Elton, Jeremy, Elton.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Both are cool.
Well, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna actually drop out. I gotta get working on.
Why don't you give us your plugs real quick? What do you got going on, and where can people follow you?
Sure. I am actually working on page 15 of issue 1 of Sporkman Goes to Japan. And I should probably hopefully be done with lettering this weekend. And then, Mike, I'll send over to you the final digital, and then we'll go from there. So
sounds like a plan, man.
And we did talk, Eric and I did talk, since we are a little behind, we are going to be throwing some stuff into the digital version as extras that wouldn't have normally been there since we are a little late. So backers will get a little something extra.
A little special.
A little special. But anyhow, you can follow me at Sporkman Studios for everything.
Cool. All right, and then
I gotta drop out too.
You have to head out as well, man. Okay.
Yeah, man.
And then where can people follow you online?
Yeah, Twitter is the only social media that I have. So Black Ninja Bam is the @ name.
Sweet, man. And you'll post all your updates on there.
Most definitely.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you both joining in for the podcast today, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, man. You guys too.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
All right, now the boys can play. The parents are away.
Hot guy.
Not like that. Oh, you Canales. So you fluster me so. You fluster me so.
There you go.
I get that a lot.
So I got this in the mail.
I noticed.
Nice.
I noticed you got that. So what do you think, man? Do you like it?
I'm just reading it through. I like it.
Excellent, man. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
We're very proud of it.
Should be.
Oh, man, I can't wait to get mine.
Yeah, man. We'll be. I know it's a little later. Since you're international, it was a little bit more difficult. But
yeah. Don't worry. I know. I live in the future, but somehow things arrive later to my place. It's weird how that works.
It's a dystopian future, unfortunately. That you live in. But yeah, you'll definitely get it. In fact, I'm going to be giving you the full care package. You'll be getting all the comics, all the magazine, everything. So
that is not cheap.
Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome, man. Definitely, I want you to be able to enjoy the comics and stuff, and whatnot. So, but speaking of which, we have another issue of the magazine coming out in a couple months.
Very cool.
Working on it right now. If anyone wants to contribute, just let me know.
I wish I could, but I'm so freaking busy.
Oh, it's all good, man. I get that. If you'd like to do an interview at some point, maybe we could do something like that, though.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I love talking about myself. My favorite subject.
Yeah, Abai's like the busiest man in comics.
I know, right? It is pretty.
Yeah,
nuts.
only the Putin guy is as busy as I am, and the Simpotier. I think
yeah.
The two like foreign pillars of Comicsgate.
Yeah, very essential. You're like you're a strong foundational structure upon which all others rely on.
That's right.
Well, what can I say, man? I really like the projects that people pitch to me, and I have a problem with saying no to comics that I like. Hey, you wanna draw this? Shit, I do wanna draw that, but I have like 3 other projects coming in. So yes, I will draw that, and never sleep again in my life.
Are you getting faster? I mean, are you getting economies of scale?
I'm trying to. I think I'm actually becoming slower as I get better.
Okay.
Now, if that makes sense, because I'm putting more care into the figure construction and the volume and the lighting and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to go back to like what I was, except not as bad.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Okay.
Not as what?
and not
as fat,
bad as I was. Bad
bad.
In quotation marks. I know it wasn't
right,
that,
right.
but I'm learning new stuff and incorporating it into my style.
Okay.
And that kind of makes me slower.
Yeah.
And
I guess what I was at so you're going through a lot of learning curves, right? Because as you incorporate the new stuff, but as you do that, does it become kind of instinctual? Like there are things that you've learned in the past, right? And did you get faster at those things as you were going along?
Yeah, it's a weird phenomenon. It's like a roller coaster. Some days you feel like you know exactly what you have to do, and some other days you kind of, I don't know if it's like because of lack of sleep or you're getting tired or whatnot, but everything seems to not come along. Like you know what you have to do, but you can't find the way of putting it all together. So just draw and redraw and redraw until it looks exactly like you want.
That makes sense.
Wow.
How many original pages are you sitting on now?
All of them. I'm not joking. I have like a stack of original pages lying beside my desk, and I'm actually thinking of selling them online. I don't know if people may be interested in that.
Yeah, I'm sure they would, dude. Oh, I'm pretty sure they would.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm just throwing them to the paper bin. So
yeah, that's a great way for you to get some extra income with that too.
Yeah. Well, do you know if there's going to be an Ironsides 3?
I think there is. Zach said that he's planning on doing it maybe on, like, I don't know if it's Colombia or Mexico, like following the steps of one of the surviving characters. I don't want to spoil anything.
I would suggest approaching him and saying, would you like to, we can work out some kind of a deal where people can back the next one and get pages from the previous 2 volumes.
Actually, he had an idea of me like making like a separate sketchbook of like original art and stuff like that, but they didn't like congeal appropriately, so we skipped it. But
I understand, but it's just that there's a lot of times people will have a tier where you can buy the book and a page of original art for like a bunch more money, right? Let's say it's the price plus $150 or something like that, and I'll bet you could sell, a lot of them through that.
I'll try and get my hands on some sacrificial lambs and ask for an audience with him, because it's he's not a real easy guy to talk to. But I
just figured you had more of an in than most.
No, actually, I think I have less than most.
Okay, wow.
Because I don't want to piss him off. He's my boss. Well, he's one of my several bosses, so I have to be extremely respectful. We have a courteous professional relationship, but I'm not the most social guy. I don't think he is either. I might sound social online, but I really am not. I'm kind of shy.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely has some quirks.
But we love him for them.
Yes.
That's what makes him adorable.
I literally have a picture of him on my wall.
But is it like an equestrian picture, like he's riding a horse or something? Like Zach the First?
Yeah, now I got to get one with Zach riding a horse.
Because I don't think your life is complete until someone has painted you riding a horse dressed like a conquistador or Napoleon or something.
Oh God! If they were painting me riding a horse and me being bucked off, that's how that would go.
Now you should be topless like Putin. that is the ultimate badass. Yeah, that's the ultimate testament to your badassery. You're writing something topless.
Have you heard of the story when this is the true story? Putin, he visited Washington D.C. in the midnight, let's say 97, something like that. And after Russia had thawed a little bit, and he challenged a member of Congress to an arm wrestling contest.
That is so manly.
Oh, and he totally just slammed him. It wasn't even a question.
Well, the thing about this guy is that he's a black belt on Sambo, and whatnot. Like he's an actual badass. I mean, he can probably kill someone with his bare hands.
Oh, I'm probably sure he has.
yeah. Well, yeah. There's also that. He's an ex-KGB, right? So
Yeah.
let's not go into that.
That's almost like a rite of passage for them. But yeah.
Yeah, you have to like eat a couple of old Norwegian guys alive to prove your worth to the party. You guys heard that like that story from Preacher from the Spetsnaz?
No.
There's this special military unit in Russia called the Spetsnaz, like it's like special forces, something like that. And there's like this urban legend going around that they were going like, what's the word in English? Like maneuver, like you've been deployed but only as practice.
Okay. Decoy.
So I don't know, but they were like practicing. It wasn't like a military exercise, whatever.
Okay, all right.
And they got like stranded on a Norwegian fjord during a snowstorm, during a blizzard, basically.
Yeah.
And they found like this small cottage with an old couple of Norwegian guys living there. So the Norwegian guys had like enough supplies to go through the winter, but only for the both of them.
Yeah.
And the Spetsnaz were like six guys, something like that.
Okay.
So the Spetsnaz ate the supplies, and then when the supplies ran out, they ate the old couple.
Oh wow! Ugh.
So that's what they say about Russians, and I wouldn't be too surprised, really.
That's a wild story, man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Russia.
Meanwhile, what a great place! Choose a new vacation home.
The fun one is to go on YouTube and YouTube Russians and baseball bats. And like, because they don't have, guns aren't widely distributed in Russia, obviously, but baseball bats are.
Oh yeah, I think I heard that in a movie. Like in Russia, they sell like thousands of baseball bats every year, but they
don't play baseball.
Yeah, they sell no baseball balls, not actual balls. No one plays baseball in Russia, but somehow everyone has a baseball bat in his house.
That's pretty funny.
There's literally you sometimes you'll see like a picture of some of these badass Russian dudes like bears are bugging them, and so they'll go at them with a baseball bat. Bears are actually scared of them.
Well, I can think of not many things scarier than an angry Russian guy.
Oh yeah.
True, you don't want to mess with that. That is not good.
I think you should write and do a comic about this, Abai.
A creator.
Definitely need to use more Russians.
The creator.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I plugged my headphones out. Yeah, I need to incorporate more Russians into my comics, and I haven't written anything in ages.
Right? I mean, I think everybody should do that.
Yeah, we need more angry Russians in our stories.
Exactly, in our lives.
Yeah. Well, I'll just do with their stories.
Fair enough. Welcome, Salem. How's it going, man?
It is going all right. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man. We're having a good time.
We're talking about cannibalistic Russians.
Yeah.
You're right in the right moment.
Is there any other kind?
I know, right?
Pretty much no.
Yeah, it's like we were saying, it's a great place to live. Shout out to Russia. But what are you up to today?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you say, Jeremy?
Have you heard about the Russian who found a genie in a bottle? And there was this Russian farmer, and he finds a genie in the bottle, and the genie pops out, and he says, "You only get one wish," and he goes, "I wish for my neighbor's cow to die."
I've never heard that one.
That sounds more Spanish than Russian, though.
Possibly.
Because we were yellow assholes. That should be the motto of the country. Yellow assholes.
Indeed.
Okay, I think I'll drop out on that line, guys. Because I really want to catch a movie tonight. I don't know what's on, but I hope something good.
Yeah, go watch something awesome, dude.
I'll let you know how that went.
Okay. Have a good one.
So yeah, follow me at Decimators Art.
Oh, you're heading out, man. You gotta get to your movie. Okay.
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
right.
No, otherwise, I'm gonna be a bit too late. So yeah, and I wanna have dinner out today. Yeah, live la vida loca, as they say.
Enjoy, man. Have a good night. And, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me in.
Definitely, everyone follow him on Twitter if you're not already following him at Decimators Art.
That's right.
Yeah.
Excellent, man.
Well, take care, guys.
Take care, man. We'll see you later. gonna put this up. So we got that. Boom. Decimator's art.
So Salem, tell us a story.
Story about what?
I don't know.
The world.
Well, the world. I don't know. It's big and round, and it's. I don't know. That's about all I got.
Okay.
That's about all I needed. And now I know you're not a flat earther, so that's good at least.
Good.
Oh boy.
I think flat earth is kind of fun from a story concept because you can fall off of that one.
Yeah, that's true. That could be kind of fun.
So
Salem, I was started to ask you, what are you up to today?
Well, right now I'm just on a lunch break for my job, so I figured I would spend it. Yeah, I figured I would spend it chatting with you guys.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Yeah, it's been a long while, but trying to get back into the groove of things. I'm about to have some quite a bit of significant free time in the next month or so, so I'll be able to get back to focusing on this stuff for a little bit. And also just gonna have some good time to get some big progress done in some of the stuff that I'm trying to get out to everybody, because heading out to Colorado tomorrow, and I'll just be pretty much doing whatever I want for the next few days, so it's gonna be quite nice.
Yeah, it's great when you finally get a chance to focus on the things you want to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, it is not my absence and my lack of content has not been out of choice, if you can understand that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got laid off in October from my previous job, and there were projects that I had in train that I've kept going, but I said I'm not going to undertake any new projects until I get a new job or the equivalent. And I've got a lot of work now, and I think I'll get there to at least the equivalent of that pretty soon. But it's been a rough couple of months that way.
Yeah, amen to that.
So, did you end up saying what the progress was? Or
no, I didn't. No, I did not.
Sorry, I know I cut out a little for there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're ghosting us on your own show?
I know, right? How rude! It's like you guys are on your own, man.
That's okay.
But yeah,
we can all improvise.
Right, exactly. That's what we're. In fact, Jeremy has background in stand-up comedy.
I do.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
I can be quick on your feet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't actually understand why people, a lot of people will just bring a stool and tell jokes. So it's really sit-down comedy.
That's funny, man. Yeah, it's a little weird that they call. I was kind of thinking about it the other day. I don't really know why they call it stand-up exactly, other than I guess you get up on a stage, but it's not really. Yeah, like you said, it's not always standing up.
Yeah, that's true. But the other thing is that it's not common anymore. But back in the day, sometimes you'd have two-man acts that would do stuff, and like you could get a good husband and wife routine going. You don't see that basically at all anymore. But honestly, it's pretty. If they've got their timing right, a good husband and wife routine can be hilarious.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've seen any before.
Yeah, I mean it was a long, basically in the early days of stand up that was more common.
Oh, really interesting.
And then you charge into like the 70s, and it's much more common where you get a lot of the breakout hits. It's it's individuals. It's not it's not duos. So. But yeah, I gotta, once I get enough, other projects going to pay the bills, I need, there's a comic I want to do, involving a stand-up comic, that I need to get back to.
Oh, really? That'd be interesting. Comic about a comic. A comic about
it's a comic. Yeah. No, well, because the idea is that so almost all stand-up comedy is at night, and honestly, if most crime happens, or most serious crime, tends to happen late at night. So the idea was like, well, okay, you've got this comic who he goes and he does his sets, and then he gets into trouble, because he's visiting all these cities, right? The thing is, he just can't sleep, and so insomnia drives him to go and basically become a vigilante.
So
part of that.
So he's a stand-up comedian by night and a superhero by day.
No, he's a stand-up comedian by night and a vigilante by the wee hours of the morning.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Oh man, so that'll be interesting. Have you thought about what kind of art style you might want for that project?
I've thought about. There's a guy named Ian. Why am I forgetting his last name? He's the guy that did Something Real. Like I shouldn't be forgetting. I think it's like Ian Miller, and I think he'd do a good job at it. And we've talked a little bit, but it just depends on kind of what if he's busy or not. He has a slightly more cartoon. Well, it's a mixed. It's I would call it sort of a grotesque cartoony art style. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it lends itself to comedy and horror, and this would really be kind of a little bit of a mix of both. I really want to work a joke about how so the idea, this is how it came to me. You have a guy who's up on the stage and he's talking about how and he's like let's say he's in Bellingham, Washington, which is that's the closest somewhat large city to us. And he'd be talking about how violent Tacoma, Washington is, right? And he'd say, yeah, I mean, somebody killed a guy with a trident there last night when I was doing a stand-up set. And then you get his own like running monologue in his head, and he's like, well, actually, it wasn't a trident; it was a pitchfork, but close enough.
That's pretty good. It's like extra dramatic. It's like it was a trident.
But that's actually fun. Like bragging about something that he did.
Right. Oh man, yeah, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun. I could see that being good.
Yeah, I think so. And I've got actually a couple of local comics that I've done stand up. Let's say 8 times. I have an ongoing invite to be part. They have a monthly stand up thing. There's a the guy Ryan Stiles. He's one of the guys that does Whose Line Is It Anyway? He owns a club in Bellingham, and I have sort of a standing invite to do the monthly show there if I want to.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean it is, but it's also like the one that he doesn't care about stand up. So if you're interested in advancing in comedy at all, you through the Bellingham circuit, you actually want to do improv rather than stand up.
Really?
Yeah, because the famous guy who actually has connections, he that's the thing he cares about.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, the there's the stand up thing there that I've done a fair number of times, and some of the guys that are regulars there, I'm friends with, and I actually want to get them to be sort of joke consultants on this because it just helps if you have other people that can help punch up your jokes. So I'd acknowledge them as joke consultants.
That's pretty smart. Yeah. I would see that for that kind of a project being a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Add some more of that authenticity to it,
Yeah,
a little bit, because I know a lot of times I've seen like TV shows where it's writers who are writing what they think comedians do and talk about, and it's usually not as good.
Yeah,
I totally get that, and you having experience yourself definitely helps as well.
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
Well, the other thing is that if you look at how television versus movies is structured, One of the reasons you can get consistently funnier television is you have a whole room full of writers who are writing and improving their jokes, right? I mean, that's true of it's true of some sitcoms that are actually funny, but it's also true, especially of like the late night shows,
the dramas.
The monologues are, obviously it's like, I don't know, let's say 8 writers have written that monologue,
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they tend to be consistently funnier versus if you watch movies that are comedies, it's written by like 1 or 2 guys, and the jokes just get thinner and thinner as the movie goes. Because they just don't have that interactive thing where you can feed off of each other and punch it up.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that makes sense. Sometimes that can help a lot.
Yeah.
And even just punching up a script or something to help with the dialogue or whatnot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be working on my first screenplay this year, so maybe I'll need to hire someone to punch it up afterwards.
Possibly,
we'll see.
Yeah,
it can hurt.
There's let me try to think. The guys that did what is it, Herbie Fully Loaded, the guys behind that travesty. They're it's a script writing duo that they're just behind. They've made so much money writing scripts, and they had a very helpful book on this subject. I'll look up the name of it and get it to you. So, but anyways, what stories are you working on, Salem?
Right now I'm trying to get all my short stories to a point where I can release them. Biggest issue was that just so much just like I said, so much stuff been going on in real life. It had just gotten me to the point where it's like I wasn't comfortable with releasing them, so I've kind of redone them now, but I've simplified it because I was getting way in over my head. I just figured that I needed to stop messing around trying to make them like something grand or something to that extent, like to try to scale it down back to my level and not try to freak out that it's not to a quality that I know that I'm not ready for yet, if that makes any sense. I guess what I'm saying is like I probably got a little too full of myself, and
maybe a little bit of an ambitious project to start with.
No, not that the project is ambitious. It's just the level of quality that I had laid out and said that anything less is unacceptable. And I took a step back and I was like, no, that it would have been fine. You've been overthinking it, and all it has done is stressed you out and made you delay everything. So you just gotta, just pump it out. Don't think twice about it. Just
don't necessarily get worked up in the details.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's yeah. If you start thinking too much about it, you'll just like you said, you'll never get it out. So
right.
Yeah, I definitely do, and trust your instincts too.
Yeah, and of course, it's the other thing is that you can't your mental health and your quality go hand in hand. So it's like you can't keep doing something that makes you worry and then contributes to your mental health failing and then expect anything to come out that's going to be good. So sometimes you gotta make sure that you're completely collected before you continue forward.
Definitely remember to stay healthy and take care of yourself. And in fact, I was going to put a tweet out about this, but I'll say here on the podcast as well. This year, people should probably go ahead and get the flu shot. I know people hate shots. I do too. But I think it's probably important to get it. So that's my safety tip of the day.
All right. I think
I'll probably get it, but last time I got it, I still got the flu.
Yeah, that happens every now and then. Sometimes you'll get sick from the flu shot, but it's usually not too often.
It only inoculates you against 3 or 4 or 5 strains of the flu, right? They guess is, and I'm not saying don't do it, okay? They guess which are going to be the most virulent, and they inoculate you against those that protect lots of people from those strains. But there's still other strains that you can get and that you're not inoculated against.
It's very true. That's why I didn't get one last year. But this year, I'm supposed to. They always say it, but they're saying, "Oh, it's so bad this year," So I don't know.
Yeah. So the book I was looking for is titled "Writing Movies for Fun and Profit." It's by Robert Ben Garant, Thomas Lennon, and the subtitle is "How He Made $1 billion at the box office, and you can too." It's got the cover's got them being waited on by a couple of bikini babes.
That's so funny, dude. Yeah, I love him. He's a comedian and writer, isn't he?
Yeah,
Thomas Lennon?
Yeah.
He's great.
I sincerely hope they've written more than just Herbie Fully Loaded, because that's not a very high bar.
No. I mean, they show all the movies they've been involved in, right? And some of them are great, some of them are garbage, but they're like, we make money.
Okay.
And that was the point I was trying to make, is that they're like, here are some things that you need to know, that you may not know. Like, if you're going to be a screenwriter, you need to be in California at the very least, or have a partner.
Well, at least I'm on the right track.
Or have a partner that's there. You need to have someone who can go take meetings, because that you just won't get, like, just submitting scripts will get you basically nowhere.
Interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah, that's definitely useful information to know.
Yeah.
Can you send me a link to that?
Sure. Yeah. I'll find it real quick. I was pulling it up on my Kindle. Which remember when the Kindle, like the start? I don't think Kindles were an app at the start, right? They were just devices that you could still get those, but now they're much more popular as just an app.
Yeah, I use the app on my phone all the time.
Yeah,
well, not all the time, but every now and then for stuff. I'm more of a print medium guy myself, but if I can't get it in print, or if it's usually a lot cheaper in digital, so, there's usually reasons why I'll get in digital.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that it's digital can be useful. It's just that it's not. There's a lot. There's a lot more uses than just that.
You know what's funny? Scott was I was just talking with Scott yesterday after the meeting, and he was trying to say you should get on Viz's app, because it's like $1.99 and you get for a month, and you get like all this digital manga, like tons of it. Yeah. Like all these great shows and stuff.
In our private chat, I put the thing. By the way, you mentioned manga. You wanted me to get into manga. Okay. Can you even read what this says?
Which one is that?
Whoa, what's that?
Can you read the title?
Reload it.
Reload Punk.
It's like it's so weird. The font is the weirdest font I've ever seen. It's retro.
Retro punk. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Retro. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
And it's kind of a noir kind of a manga style here. It's an American manga style, obviously.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're kind of jumping in with American manga first.
Yeah, I said I was going to try that, but there's a lot of.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, and there are different like manga as I understand it, and you're the expert. There's like different like how you'll do like the where they'll look weird when they get emotional, or there's sometimes when the drawing is supposed to look off. And I don't think that's as true with the sort of noir style of manga. I think that it's much more kind of realistic. I don't know if you can see.
I'm trying to hold on, give me a second here. No, that wasn't the right button.
Yeah, you give me the whole screen.
Yeah, can you show? Yeah, there you go.
Can you see that? Let me find like a cityscape or something. Here, there you go. It's like more of a cityscape. You can kind of see.
Oh, wow, the art's really cool.
Yeah, I like the art. The story is it's fine. It was a fairly well told story. And no, I give this a solid. If I was doing the whole grade thing, I give it a solid B. It was good. And it was like almost no money on Amazon.
Damn.
By the way, yeah, here's a tip for all. I don't know. I'm not sure how many people are watching, but either you're watching now or you watch later. If you go to Amazon, you you go to books and you go to graphic novels, you can and paperback. You actually have to go march through all that. Then you can sort by price, least to most, and you can find a lot of really cheap graphic novels. Now, a lot of them are crap; they're garbage. But once in a while, you get something decent. I would, it's very much a bargain shopping paradise that I recommend people try.
Sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Amazon is the new. It's just it's everything, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like if this was the American Gods book or show, Amazon would be one of the new gods.
Oh, it definitely is a new god.
That's all.
That's
right?
one of the problems with the show is that, or with the story, and they've updated a little bit with the show, but not much. Is that like they don't have the Amazon god.
Right, that'd be awesome. The Jeff Bezos god. It's funny because I just watched the Watchmen show, and on HBO, and part of the plot of that is there's this woman named Lady True, and she wants to build this thing called the Millennium Clock and stuff, and she's building this giant clock, and freaking Jeff Bezos is making like a Millennium Clock with all this money he made, tons, billions of dollars, I think. And it's just funny. People are making connection between him and the show. So it's like.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
It's one and done. It's only one season.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I think it was a great season. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Okay. I don't have HBO. If I ever get it, I'll watch an episode or two. And I mean, I'm sure at some point we'll probably get an HBO app thing, in which case I'll check it out.
Yeah, they have HBO Go.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
And then HBO Max coming out soon.
If there's some kind of a thing that we can get, because we finally cut the cord, but you can cut the cord and still you cut the cord, but you have Hulu, and you have Netflix, and you have Amazon Prime. Did you really cut the cord?
Right. And now there's gonna be. Do you hear NBC is coming out with one? It's gonna be called the Peacock.
Oh yeah,
Peacock streaming service.
By the time you're paying for all these services, you'll be paying more than cable.
Maybe.
Exactly.
I don't know though. We were paying a lot for cable.
Really?
And the other thing is that you can easily. The difference between these and cable is that there's not long-term contracts for these things, so you can easily drop one for a while, and you can alter your mix pretty easily. Whereas basically you have to sacrifice a chicken in order to cancel your cable.
All right. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, a lot of people dropped Disney Plus as soon as The Mandalorian was done.
Salem, I'm going to propose a story to you that is yours. You can tell if you want it, okay? It's a horror story about a man trying to cancel his cable.
Tell me more.
Ooh.
No,
that's too scary even for me.
I'm telling you. That would go places.
Oh boy! You know how they usually.
I would love to see that.
You know how they usually cut the cord and everyone gets scared. If somebody cut the cable, everybody'd be cheering.
But it could be like.
It'd be funny. I could. I picture it so you start off with a phone call, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to get a cut. They just won't work with you. We'll send out a guy. Oh, and then the guy they send out, he's creepy as hell, and it just gets worse from there.
Yeah. And then it could be like you cut the cord, but it grows back.
Oh no! It won't let us be.
It's like a mini corded beast.
You follow the cords to find out what is causing the source. All leads up to probably all leads up to Disney.
Yeah,
probably. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
It was in a lot of my history textbooks growing up in school, but that political cartoon of the octopus, except it was the oil industry.
Yeah.
That except that, it's just that, except it's Mickey Mouse instead of an octopus.
Yes.
Just there's a horror story. The one last studio that Disney hasn't bought, it's trying to run away from Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, and his like mouse hands turn into tentacles.
Well, did you guys hear the news? Apparently, I can't. I want to try to remember the two companies. I believe it's Universal and Warner Brothers have made a new joint merger where they're going to be using the same physical media distribution networks to sell each other's movies now.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
So basically, Warner Brothers and I believe it was Universal, they will still basically be independent studios that are making their own movies, but they've made a joint venture where they'll now be using for their physical media, the discs, DVDs, and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Will all be will be merging together into one larger distribution network. So they'll be able to handle each other's merchandise and get it out to bigger audiences. Essentially.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they think they wanted to strengthen the physical media, but to me, I'm thinking like, damn, dude, just another couple companies merging together to get more powerful.
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
There's the those South Park guys, right? They were trying to found their own studio a few years ago to do the Book of Mormon movie, and I have no idea what's come of that because it's been a long. They raised a shit ton of money to do a studio, and I don't know what's happened with it. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, guys, where's your studio? Where's your movies?
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
They probably would need to make their own studio if they ever wanted to make a movie that'd be released by Hollywood again. Because I can't think of anybody who would even try to touch anything 50% near what like Team America was.
Yeah, or Book of Mormon. I don't know if you've heard I've listened to it on
I've been
CD.
lucky enough to go see the play. It's amazing, dude. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell from the music. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fun. It's not just the music. They also they have the whole thing. You hear it all acted out and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
You just don't see it.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. At least that they have the story parts too. It's not like Hamilton where you're just getting the music part.
Yeah. So
Hamilton's also good. I recommend that if everyone gets a chance to see Hamilton.
Yeah, the only problem is good luck, getting tickets. Well, if you get tickets, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. I'll just say that.
Yeah, that's true. Luckily, I'm part. My family's part of the San Francisco kind of theater group.
Yeah.
So we got priority access to tickets for Hamilton when it came out to San Francisco. So we were able to kind of get in there before the rush, and somehow luckily just grabbed some. So I went. Oh man, yeah,
that's good.
It was fun. Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it'll be around for a while, so plenty of chance to see it. So I don't know what this theater seems like in Washington.
Well, my local theater scene, not so much.
Not great.
You go down to Seattle, it's a bit bigger. But
oh, okay, nice. That's good. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Hey, Matt.
It was fun to
hi.
it was fun to jump in real quick, but I got to get going. My lunch is ending.
Okay.
Well, thank you, man, for showing up. Where can people follow you online?
Oh, just follow me on Twitter at Salem_LeBlanc. And hopefully next time I'll have more to say and stuff. I just, like I said, been busy, but and things have been going on, but I'm hopefully going to be turning that around pretty soon.
Excellent, man. Well, that's really great to hear, and I can't wait to see some more of your stuff you got cooking up. So definitely excited.
Oh, yep. All right. Everybody, take care.
You too, man. Have a good day. Later.
You too. Later.
And then there were three.
Two.
And Matt.
A cranky writer has entered the building.
A wild cranky writer appears.
A while ago,
I used a mega ball to boom, boop. Oh, he got away. Oh no.
Does this mean
So
I have
what's
to
up,
leave the
Matt?
stream?
What's that? You're what's that?
Does this mean I have to leave the stream?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, that was the show. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Matt? How's it going?
Oh, good. How about you?
Doing good today. How's my audio coming through? Am I getting a lot of feedback at all?
We've heard a lot of background stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually out. I'm out about today. I'm at the BART train station.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of BART train.
Yes.
So I'm on my way to the city today
Okay.
for SF Sketchfest. It's something I do every year. SF Sketchfest. They put on comedy shows all month long in San Francisco. There's like over 100 shows from comedians of all types, and you get to pick and choose what you like. It's not like you pay for one thing and you go to see them all, but you get to kind of pick and choose your all apart what you like. And so I've been going for like 3 or 4 years now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love it. It's like my favorite thing to look forward to for comedy every year.
Yeah, I actually envy you today.
Really? What do you got going on today?
If all goes well, we might be able to go to the mall, and there's a children's play restaurant thing. Now, my daughter isn't; she's only 6 months old. She's not even crawling yet, but we want to sort of scope the place out. So.
Well, yeah. How's that going, man? How's fatherhood?
It's good. It's tiring.
Ups and downs, probably, right?
Yeah, she's got a good
Mostly ups.
She's got a good set of lungs on her.
Not afraid to wake you up, I take it.
Oh no. And I will say she's actually pretty good natured and good at entertaining herself. So if she wakes up, it doesn't like you'll hear her like. I mean, she does this thing where she talks through her hands. I think her hands are characters in her head. Like this one's righty and this one's lefty, you know. And she'll sing to herself, and she's cute and fun. But you know, if she decides that you need to pay attention to her, you need to pay attention to her.
Someone's got to be paying attention.
That's right.
Yeah, I bet, and that's wild. I expect to one day be there myself, but who knows? The only time will tell.
Yeah, it's just it's good. I like it. I wish I was a little younger.
Really?
Yeah, 41 is not necessarily the greatest age to start. I guess it was 40. I turned 41, but 40 is not necessarily the best age to start being a parent. It's better to kind of. I mean, whatever. If you get another kid at 40, it's great.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's just better if you kind of work up to it. That's all I'll say. It's not that I mind it. It's just I think if we'd had kids, if we'd gotten married much earlier and had kids when we were younger, we had more energy for it.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. I kind of get that, but at the same time, something that I appreciated because I have older parents.
Yeah,
is that they always seem so much wiser and like they learned so much and stuff. So I always appreciate that they were able to teach me because of that.
Yeah,
my parents, So I don't know. I think there's trades off either way,
Yeah, and my parents were about middle range when they had me. I was the first kid, and I was a learning experience for them, and like in the sense that they made a lot of mistakes with me, and then learned from those mistakes, and then didn't do them with my brothers. And you can be resentful about that, I guess, or you can just understand that, that's how people are. I do think that if you're older and observant, there are some mistakes that you would have made when you're younger that you can avoid making when you're older.
Right, exactly. And I do feel that was valuable. I always appreciate that. So yeah, man. But yeah, tough work, man. A lot of work, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I was so my before I got laid off, the job I had, I got 2 months of paternal leave.
Oh, dope!
That was great.
I bet. Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty nice.
That was wonderful. Being able to just not get paid and not have to work and just focus on dealing with household crap, so much better than trying to also work at the same time. And my wife got, I don't know, I think 3 or 4 months paid leave. That was great.
Yeah, but that made it a lot easier on you guys there in the beginning.
Oh yeah. It took a lot of the financial hit out of it, and it just let us focus on learning how to be parents, basically.
Wow. Yeah, that's great, man. I feel like you could write a whole, if not a book, at least an article on the subject.
I write quite a bit about aspects like Splice.
Oh, nice.
When I Splice today, I write for them at least on average at least once a week, and a lot of it's sort of diary type stuff, and I talk about stuff that like I wrote about the fact that I never crawled. That was one column, or my daughter singing all the time was another column, or you know
that. You never crawled?
No, I rolled everywhere. Basically, kids that aren't developmentally stunted, they either crawl or they roll or they butt scoot, and you can go from all three of those things to walking.
Interesting. Oh, that's really funny. I have no idea. I've never even thought about which one I might have done, but that's pretty funny, man.
Yeah, my dad thought I had problems, and so he was getting down and trying to teach me how to crawl, right? And apparently I looked at him like, "Are you crazy?"
It's just obviously much better to roll.
Yeah, I'm like, I get faster doing this.
Aerodynamic.
Yeah, and my parents, like, let's see, I was born in California, right? But I was like 7 months old, I think, or something when we left there, and then we moved to Portland, Oregon, and I was 6 when we left there, and then we moved to Tacoma, Washington, and then my parents moved up to Linden, Washington, and I moved with them. So if you look at my early life, it's like a straight line up the West Coast, so they, a lot of stuff they used to have has been thrown away, obviously, but I didn't realize this. The coffee table that they have sitting in their front room, my mom goes, "Yeah, that's where you pulled yourself up and learned to walk."
Really?
What? Really? Is that? And this thing is, it's solid wood, and it's also got marble on top of it, right? I mean, like, you conk your head on this, and you're doing some damage.
Ouch.
Good thing I got it in one, I guess.
Well, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he'll live, probably.
He'll learn from it.
He's got a
Oh, man. That's pretty funny, man. Yeah.
So, Mr. Cranky Writer, were you a crawler or a walker? Or, sorry, were you a crawler or a roller?
I think I was a crawler.
Okay.
He's a walker. He just went straight to walking. He skipped all everything.
Oh boy.
You're like that kid that skips like 2 grades.
Oh, it's funny because it reminds me of this anime I've been watching recently. It's on Netflix. It's a gag manga called The Disastrous Life of Seki K.
Okay.
And he's basically he's a psychopath, or not a psychopath, rather. Sorry, telekinesis. Like he's like can basically any kind of mental powers, telepathy. All he has them all basically. And so when he was a baby, he goes, when I was a baby, when I was only like 1 year old or something, I started learning to walk, and it shows him walking in the air. He's like walking on air, and his parents are like, "Oh my God, look at him! He can walk! That's so amazing!" And as I was around to that, yeah, it's a pretty good show. It's just worth checking out. It's definitely a funny gag manga because he's got all the powers in the world, so he's like overpowered, but he doesn't like care about like it's like opposite of what you might think someone would use with all the powers. Like he just wants to be left alone. And not be noticed.
That seems to be kind of a thing with, or I don't know, like okay, I don't know One Punch Man that well. I've seen a couple episodes, but he just finds this all very boring. Because, it's like, I win everything, I can beat everyone with one punch. What is even the point anymore?
Exactly. He's always trying to search for a stronger opponent to fight because he's like, man, this is lame. But the funny thing is, he's terrible at video games. Okay. He really sucks at games. He can't win in those. So that pisses him off.
It's good that he loses. Does he destroy them then?
He hasn't destroyed any video games yet. I don't think.
I just wonder if he like punched the TV or something.
Well, he may be his own TV. The last episode I saw, he was at a friend's house, and so he probably didn't want to break his friend's game.
Okay.
But the guy said, man, it's just so freaking frustrating. He's like, yeah, that'll go away if you win ever. Yeah, I think One Punch Man is pretty good. I was thinking about picking up the manga maybe, because I've heard the manga is really good as well. But the show definitely is funny.
Yeah.
Maybe. You should watch more anime maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Jeremy, since you don't like the format of the manga necessarily.
Yeah, I should watch more. You're right. And especially like I watched an episode or two of One Punch Man. I think I should watch more of that. I think that would be better.
Yeah, it's fun.
Plus, I like so American comics, right? You have Superman, who's kind of like One Punch Man, but somehow they always find something to challenge him. But I like the Japanese thing. They're like, no, there is a superhero that literally no one can beat. You know, they just push the concept all the way, right? No one can beat this man. And so what sort of issues does that create for him? You know,
and yeah, you have to build the comedy around that differently.
Yeah, I like that because they don't you know, they sort of embrace the concept rather than trying to skirt around it.
Right, because that's something you see a lot in shonen anime. Unfortunately, I look at Bleach as a good example of this, where you know he gets to the point where he's the best, and then all of a sudden there's more people who are stronger than him, and it's always the case. Like there's and stuff, and so that's like you said that them doing it this kind of different ways is kind of nice to see that.
Yeah,
I'm playing it for comedy, of course.
I've heard that. I can't remember the name of it. There's like a manga that's actually kind of like Batman, but not. Do you know? You know what that is?
Doesn't ring any bells. What about you, Matt?
No.
Okay.
In what ways is it like Batman?
I mean, you have like a vigilante who looks. I mean, he doesn't look like a Batman, but he's, you know, he doesn't have powers, and he you know uses his fists and his planning and his this sort of thing. And I just don't. I don't know. I heard like several years ago, someone, or at least a couple of years ago, someone was talking about this on a you know a Facebook group I'm part of. I guess I could just throw the question back out there.
Oh, you should definitely. I'd be interested. My first thought came to Darker Than Black, but I don't know if that's necessarily right.
Okay. I'll look into it.
Darker Than Black's kind of like he's more of like a terrorist. I don't know if you might call him a vigilante.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
I thought about doing actually anime might be or manga might be the right venue to do this. I thought about doing a character that like I don't sympathize with him really, but called Manarchist. And you know, he's like a men's rights activist, except like taken up to 11, and you know the sort of problems that ends up creating because he's violent and stuff. I've always thought it'd just be an interesting thing to explore, and the problem is that you do that in modern, like American comics right now, and all of a sudden, you're problematic. But I think that's the kind of thing you could explore in a manga, and everyone would just go, yeah, that's what we do with manga.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that working.
So
yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, I know you'll have to let me know what you think of that American manga you picked up. Once you're done with it, let me know what you think of it.
I liked it. It was I said solid.
Oh, did you finish it already?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, yeah.
It's just I give it a solid B. It's I liked it. Yeah, and I this is much more of a noir type manga, and I think that what I got to do is read something that everyone basically agrees is one of the pinnacles of this sort of manga. Crying Freeman. I'm gonna.
What is it?
Crying Freeman.
Never heard of it.
I have.
Crying Freeman.
Crying Freeman.
I've heard of Crybaby, Devil Crybaby.
Just
on Netflix.
I think once you actually see this, you'll realize what I'm talking about. I'll send you a link. Here, this was insanely in the 80s and 90s. This was the thing. Just I'll send a link in our chat thing here. Just a second.
I've never. Yeah, it's interesting. I've never seen this manga before.
I think this is a horrible gap in your knowledge. Just a second. It's coming your way. Yeah, you gotta do it. Here we go. Cut and paste. You're just gonna want to look at
9.
Crying Freeman.
It was made into a Hollywood movie. Sold 10 million copies around the world. Spirited ceramist Yo Hinamura is trained to be an assassin for the Chinese mafia, 108 Dragons. His talent as an assassin earned him his code name, Crying Freeman. Sounds interesting, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of, as far as I understand it, and again, you generally know more than I do. It's considered like a classic of the genre. So,
really?
And I have, so I'm gonna.
Is it like what kind of genre would you say?
I mean, this is
crime fiction.
Crime fiction, sort of a noir manga.
Yeah,
I'm gonna read. I don't think I'm ready for it yet. I'm gonna do read a few other manga before I do that, but pretty soon I'm reading that.
I might have to pick that up as well. That looks pretty interesting. I love that kind of genre. And if it's that good, I mean, 10 million copies, man. That's nothing to laugh about. That's pretty well. That's pretty good, man.
It's a few. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll probably finish reading Berserk, and then I'll get on that because I'm trying to catch up on Berserk right now. And I just finished volume 23, and out of 40 volumes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm about halfway. Oh yeah. He's been doing it for a long time, and but it's good, man. It's a really good series.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Mhm. What about you, Matt? What are you reading these days?
Well, mostly a bunch of stuff about mythology and folklore for the
Nice. Catching up for issue 2 campaign coming soon.
Yep, got that to go with.
The proofs should be coming in next week, so that's exciting.
Yep, it is.
We've had some setbacks, but I think we're back on track to get these things out to everybody.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Barring any more.
Are we allowed to talk with those setbacks about those setbacks publicly or not?
I would have to ask Matt. I know we can, talk just like at the very minimum about it, but I don't know how deep we get into it necessarily.
Oh well, that's fine. I mean, we don't like what's the high level thing that's happened here.
Oh well, we had an issue with the printer. He was transitioning to a new partnership with a new business partner, and so things were in transition period. But now everything's settled back down for 2020 with everything. So he's taking new orders and everything's back to schedule again. He also had 1 week where he got delayed because his printer was down and he had to come get maintenance on it.
All right.
And
so there was like a business hiccup and a maintenance hiccup.
Yeah, and it all happened during the holidays. So you can imagine that just made it even worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, that really is what was going on. But as I talked with him recently, we've been talking, last couple of weeks, and it seems like everything is good to go and back on schedule. And we've got 4 books ready going to be getting proofed in like 2 or 3 weeks after the Mythoverse books, though. So we should be good to go. I know Decimators Volume 4, Barrels number 2, Canada Bear number 1, and we'll be starting the proofs for the Rat Indiegogo campaign. Yup.
I'm excited about a lot of this. So Canada Bear, obviously the Indiegogo didn't work. What are we just doing? The direct sales, or what are we doing there?
Yeah, so we're going to do direct sales on number 1, and then kind of start ramping up and getting people excited.
Sorry, you're cutting out on this.
Yeah.
You there? Bueller?
I guess he's not.
Okay.
Bueller. You guys can't hear me?
There you go. Now I can hear you.
Hear me now?
You're kind of roboting on me.
Why don't you guys talk until I can get this fixed?
Yeah, well, we'll talk for a second. So Mr. Cranky Writer, what thing in comics have you found the most heartening?
Heartening?
Like something that you really liked in comics recently.
Well, there's been a lot of indie comics that have been they have made it, so that gives me some hope for it, because with some of the stuff that's going on with in terms of the industry and sales, it's good to know that there's a viable market for indies.
Yeah, I agree. It's there's so much crap, but maybe we can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna shut up.
Sounds like
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I was just thinking that's all. But let me know if it starts roboting again.
Okay, you could. Okay, what's happening with Canada Bear number 2?
So Canada Bear number 2 is going to be going to crowdfunding in the near future after we get number 1 released on the store.
Okay.
We'll be building up.
Is it going to be Indiegogo or Kickstarter?
I think Indiegogo. I don't quote me on that.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. But yeah, that's exciting, right?
Yeah. Yep. No, I really want to get Canada Bear. It looks like a lot of fun. You know, plus my household is half Canadian, so there's that.
Man, a lot of Canadians in the Wikid crew here. You're Canadian by association.
I'm an honorary Canadian.
That's right.
I'm close enough to Canada to be one, I guess.
There you go.
I can almost see Canada from my house.
That's
like
interesting.
If there wasn't a few houses in the way, I could see Canada from my house. Like it's line of sight. It's not far. I think probably. I'm not sure the Earth curves enough to quite block Canada. I can definitely see Canadian mountains from my house. That's absolutely true.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Man, you look close to the border, don't you?
Yeah, Lyndon's a border town, but it's like Blaine is so we to the west of us, and then if you drive up I-5 and into Canada, you're going through Blaine, right? And it's right on the border, in the sense that I mean it's just snug up to it. You can literally walk very easily. It's in town. That's where the border is. In Lyndon, the town is a little further back down from the border, like a mile or two. So it's not just snug up against it, and it's a little further inland.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. But so does that mean you get to go to Canada when you want to?
When I have to. No.
Don't let West hear you say that.
No. I mean, I can go to Canada pretty much whenever I want. In Washington State, we can get enhanced driver's licenses, so you don't need a passport. So you just show me your enhanced, and there you go.
Well, that's pretty cool. So it's a lot easier to get in over the border and back and forth.
Yeah, because they accept it as if it were a passport at the Canadian border.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to school up there. Part of college for me was, I did my associate's degree down here, but then I went up and there's a school in Langley, British Columbia called Trinity Western University where I went to school and where I met my wife. Though it's funny, like I met her and then didn't talk to her again for like 8 years or 10 years.
Whoa, really? How wild, man. So how'd you guys like start talking again and whatnot?
Well, Facebook, if you know people, you're like, oh, I should friend that, or like most used to be more this way. If you kind of even halfway knew someone, you're like, I'll friend them,
Mm-hmm.
And either I did that to her or she did it to me, I don't remember. And she sent me some message about asking, she knew I was a writer and asked how to format something. And I said, look, I don't know. I'd love to help you, but I don't do a lot of formatting footnotes. I'm a journalist, and it's been a long time since I did academic, footnote formatting. So you'd be better to just consult, some kind of a reference because I'll steer you wrong. And I wasn't brushing her off. I was just telling her I didn't know. And then we did. And then I just saw in passing that she lived and worked in Edmonton, Alberta, right? And I spent like a month there after I'd graduated because I worked for this crazy Canadian magazine that went broke not long after that. And I just, wrote her, like, you're in Edmonton? And it started this conversation that led to our marriage.
Wow. So. That's wild, man.
Yeah, there's the ultimate pickup line. You're in Edmonton?
I'm gonna have to try that one. Although I feel like it might not work as well for me. You're like, what?
It worked for this one guy, you know.
It's very context sensitive. That's funny, man. Yeah, that is really interesting. Having met so earlier and then coming back and then end up marrying her. And
yeah,
it's quite the story. Yeah, that's cool.
Indeed.
Me and Matt I think are single, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the single guy. We're the wicked boys, man. We can't be held down by no chains.
Just
Wild.
enjoy it while you can.
Oh, I will. Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah. I actually just broke up with a girl. I was on the dating. But I was like, I don't know. I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah.
I want to focus on like building up Wicked right now, honestly.
Yeah,
having a girlfriend isn't cheap.
I like a lot about. Yeah, that's true. One of the things I liked about my wife, and this is going to sound egocentric, but it really isn't, is that she was really, really into me. And I was like, wow, okay, I don't have to make that sale. That's great. She's already sold on me. Cool. That's not something that perfect. And it actually, and I was like, and I'm into her, so great. Plus we had like the world's most disaster. Sorry, you go ahead. No, okay.
I'll ask you, like, when you did dating and stuff. Am I coming through?
Yeah, you're roboting again.
Roboting. Could you just like write a message in our private chat and I'll read it? I know that sounds weird, but it might help. No? Ready? I don't know. So, what's your favorite comic you've read recently?
Actually, I've read a lot recently, so I can't really pinpoint at least one.
Okay.
But
yeah, I read the Philbach brothers. They did a graphic novel called Shotgun to Sugarland. Oh my God, was it great! It is just such an amazing story. I would highly recommend that. The question that you put in chat is, did you know when you started dating if she was the right person? I don't know. I didn't know that. And in a future episode, I can even tell you guys the story of our first date, which was, as she put it, a gong show. But over time, it just became clear that this is where we're going, and I'm happy to go there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear. I answered your question. I don't know or sort of.
I only caught the tail end of it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that was one of the things I was struggling with the girl I was dating. I wasn't sure I was feeling it. I wasn't sure if I was making the right decision by breaking up with her. But, that's why I was curious, like, if you would know or not. I wasn't.
Yeah, I don't believe in the one. I mean, except mathematically. I mean, you can only be married to one person at a time.
Well, technically.
It wasn't. There was just. I'd gone out with several other girls and had my share of horrible relationships, and I was like, this one works. It's we get along. We have similar interests. We like each other. What the hell,
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So,
man, that's great.
Yeah. Are we? What are we doing for time here? Because I'm at 11:16. Are we gonna? Is there other people coming, or how's it gonna work?
Let me double check. I think we're probably it for the day. Let's see. Let me just double check. Yeah, looks like that's it. I don't see anyone else coming on. You guys want to wrap it up for the day?
I mean, it might be
maybe go to 11:30.
Yeah, we can do that.
Or okay, another 15 minutes then.
That's fine.
Wrap it up. Okay.
This Shotgun to Sugarland book by the Philbach. Do you know who the Philbach brothers are?
No, I'm not familiar.
Okay, they at least one of them did. There was I think 14 volumes of the Clone War Adventures comics. They did those.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they've done a lot of their own stuff, and their latest graphic novel is called Shotgun to Sugarland. It is sexy. It is violent. It is it has heart.
Does it have swearing?
It has swearing.
Yes.
It has surprises. It has. I mean, this is not a comic for children. Do not keep it up out of reach. But it is a great comic book, and I really recommend people out there.
What's it called?
It's called Shotgun to Sugarland. I think I don't even think it's available on Amazon. I think you have to get it via First Publishing. If you get it, that's how I got it. Let me see if it's on Amazon.
Oh, First Publishing. I see that. Yeah.
It is. I give it my highest possible rating.
Wow. It looks interesting, man. The cover is very striking, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a mix of black and white and color. Oh no! It is available on Amazon.
Nice.
I'll throw the link in, and you can do what you want with it. But I didn't realize it was available because it wasn't when I ordered it. Yes, people should buy this book, should read this book, should thank me for it, and then should buy everything else the Philbach brothers have done, which is what I'm in the process of doing.
So is this like a one singular graphic novel, not like a series?
One and done.
Nice.
And it's it's a self-contained story. It's so good. You have to kind of like crime noir type things in order for this. That's not your thing. This isn't going to be your thing. But if it is, this is your jam.
Interesting. Yeah, you've been giving us some good recommendations today.
I'm trying.
I've never heard of the Philbach brothers, but I'll check them out. They sound interesting.
Yeah, they do a lot of really cool stuff.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I
gotta check out Crying Freeman now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I at least picked up the first volume, man.
Like, not an insult, but I'm really surprised that Crying Freeman hasn't crossed your path yet.
Well, is there an anime? Well, it might be because it's a bit older. I'm not as familiar with things probably before the 90s, honestly.
Yeah, I think it was in the 80s and it was published.
Was it? Yeah, I know Matt's a little bit more up on his 80s and 70s manga and anime than I am.
Mid-90s.
Yeah.
Or mid-90s, but you still know more of the throwbacks. Like, I know you're probably more familiar with Fist of the North Star than I am, for example.
Yep, you're already dead.
See, exactly. So it's like I feel like me and Matt complement each other well in that range. I'm more of a new anime guy. He's more of the old school. So it's like, yeah, sometimes I miss these classics for that reason, I think. I wonder if there is an anime for Crying Freeman at all.
You said there's some sort of movie.
There is, really.
Yep.
Interesting. Wow. But yeah, I'll check that out. And you've read Crying Freeman? Jeremy, have you read any of it?
No, I haven't, because I said I'm working my way up to that.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think you would try to tackle? What do you think is the first manga, true like Japanese manga, you would try to tackle?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because like the problem is that a lot of my, like, the Crying Freeman one was published when they flipped them around, right? And so it's published in American style manga, and so it's a manga classic, but it's not presented in that way. So I don't know. I'll have to. I have a couple of small little manga books that read the other way that I may try to read through just to kind of get used to that, right to left thing. But I guess I need to kind of find a manga, a famous long manga that's in the Japanese style and read it, and I've got to figure that out.
Yeah, you'll have to figure out which one is the right one for you to start with.
Yeah,
because not all of them are going to be for your liking.
Maybe that Batman like thing that I was talking about that I don't.
Oh, you know what? Oh, someone on Twitter. I think it was. Someone I follow on Twitter. They were recommending that a good manga is Spider-Man Fake Red. I've heard it's really good.
Spider-Man
so looking for
Fake Red.
Yeah, Spider-Man Fake Red. It's a manga done about Spider-Man.
Okay.
It's supposed to be really good. Beautiful art.
Okay. I mean, I'll look into it.
Yeah, he was saying the guy was posting it and said, "Man, this was Spider-Man done right."
Cool.
Yeah.
And how do they? So what do they? How do they publish it? Is it published by Marvel?
I believe it is. Yeah, I
Okay.
think Marvel teamed up with some like manga authors and artists to kind of put out some manga titles.
Yeah. I know they did a lot of Marvel manga in the past, and most of the stuff that they put out is not that well regarded. But
really? I wonder if maybe a new generation can kind of do a little bit better with that. Maybe.
Possibly. Spider-Man Fake Red. Got it.
Yeah. That's supposed to be a good one. Yeah.
All right.
And maybe that can help transition you into it since you're more familiar with the characters.
Yeah. Like they put out this manga about like a young Wolverine or something. It was not good.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. It's funny. It reminds me of the Marvel put out these prequel comics for all their movies, and for a while they were pretty good. They would give you a new story, and even recently the Black Panther one was cool because it showed that Black Panther was a superhero even before Tony Stark. Because there was a scene where he's suiting up to go on a mission as Black Panther, and he's watching the press release where Tony Stark comes out as Iron Man.
Yeah,
and so it shows you for over 10 years he's been Black Panther. I thought it was kind of a thing going into the movie to know, well, this isn't a new superhero. This guy's been around for a while.
Yeah, but he sort of stayed under the radar, which
exactly. But like nowadays, they're just all recaps. They'll do like a recap of the last movie, so they'll do and stuff. And man, I'd rather have new material, not just a recap episode.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said I agree. It's nice if they can add something.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like that's why I love the. I don't know if you guys are big Godzilla fans of the new movies, but they do prequel comics as well. Godzilla.
You know who's really bad about it?
What?
Disney of Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Everything you need to know about what happened in the movies. You have to read it, either the adaptation or a comic series.
Okay.
For which one?
That's it. Oh, for Last Jedi, if you want to know anything more about Snoke and Luke, you gotta read the adaptation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Yep. And if you want to learn more about Captain Phasma, comic series.
Yeah.
Can I give a minor spoiler here?
Okay.
I haven't seen the new movie or anything like that, but in the comic book, it's heavily implied that the destruction of the Jedi school.
Dude, you roboted out and it completely ruined the spoiler.
Oh no.
All right. Well, I think we should probably just wrap up because obviously we're having technical issues here. So you can find me on Twitter at @JeremyLottDiary, and I've got plenty more comics coming. And we'll Movie Men will be available before too long for anyone to purchase. So, and what's going on with you, Mr. Cranky Rider? Where can we find you, and what do you got coming?
You can find me on Twitter at MattTrin. You can also find the other members of the Mythoverse, Brett McGowan and Dan Sankro, at their respective Twitters.
Okay.
Celtic at Celtic Brett and at Dan_Sankro.
So, sorry. So,
hey, he's back.
I just want to say the only reason I cut out the gas station had giant walls around. I got cut out.
Okay. Well, we were just wrapping up here because we've figured we're close enough to time, so we're telling people where you can find our stuff and that kind of.
Yeah. Okay, nice. So please go ahead. Don't. Yeah,
and I was gonna say maybe you want to plug Mythoverse Radio while we're doing this.
Yeah, you can find. You can also find us at our Mythoverse YouTube channel, as well as the Twitter account at Mythoverse. Okay. And that is a very distracting sound.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go, but follow Mythoverse. These guys are awesome. They put out great comics, and I just can't wait to see what they're doing next. So have a good week, guys.
You too.
Later, Jeremy. See you, Jeremy.
Later.
So you heading out too, Matt?
All
right,
for a little bit.
I think that's about it, I guess, for us. Huh?
Well, since you're having technical difficulties, might be better for us to end it.
I think it's okay now. It just would go through a tunnel.
Okay.
So, like right for now, example, I'm out of the tunnel, so I'm okay. But yeah, we can go ahead and start wrapping it up since I'm on the road and stuff and whatnot. But what do you got going on this week, man? Anything interesting planned?
Working on some secret projects.
Ooh, secret projects. I love secret projects. I may or may not know what the secret project is, but I shan't reveal.
Nope.
You can't get it out of me. I myself will be going to a couple Mystery Science Theater 3000 live shows this week.
Nice.
Joel is on his last tour. Or no, is it Joel or no? Yeah, Joel. Yeah, Joel's on he's doing his last live tour, and he's the original creator. And so I wanted to make sure I got my last chance to see him perform. So that'll be super fun. And what they usually do is they take one of the old movies that they've done, and then they do a new audio commentary over it, a new track.
Oh yeah.
So that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that. They're doing that with Riff Tracks too.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I think I saw Riff Tracks once a while back live as well, and yeah, they kind of go around and do that too. And they're so funny. Riff Tracks guys are great.
They did one of recently of a very popular MST3K episode style I called Space Mutiny.
Oh, really?
And it's based on basically the whole movie is bad simply because it uses Battlestar Galactica from the old 80s models. More likely footage. The interiors take place inside of a warehouse, and you have TV movie Captain America in it.
Well, that sounds bizarre.
I'm not saying it as an insult. I really do mean that he was Captain America in one of the TV movies.
One of the animated ones?
No, live action.
They have a live action TV movie?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. But instead of being faithful to the comics, Steve Rogers plays the descendant of a World War II hero and is a cop.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. A bit of a different take on the characters, isn't it?
Yeah, but wasn't very. It was well received enough for a sequel, but not much beyond that.
Well, it's interesting to see Marvel trying to do early productions and stuff, and like it took them all the way to Iron Man to get any of them to really stick.
Well, they didn't really have much of a plan. They just did as they went along.
Yeah, true.
And they also sold a bunch of their stuff when they were going bankrupt.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
which led to this dysfunctional Marvel cinematic universe
and the whole Sony debacle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting. Well, what are you going to be doing today? Going to do some more writing?
Yep.
Nice. Working on Mythiverse number 2 or Mythics number 2, right?
Yep.
Very nice. What month are you guys going to be starting your crowdfunding campaign?
More than likely, middle of March.
Middle of March. Okay, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That should give you guys plenty of time to get it done and get it out there. When was last year's campaign? What month was it?
Mid-April to May, I think.
May. Okay, nice. Yeah, I think starting in a month early would actually be a good idea, just to give us a little more head start.
Yeah, and we're trying to go for 2 this year.
2 issues?
Yeah.
Oh wow, so that'd be issues 3 and 4. Issues 2 and 3 rather.
Yeah, and if possible, issue 4 as well.
Man, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yep.
This is gonna be a big year for crowdfunding for us, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And with our secret project also in the works, we got a lot on the docket coming out.
Yep.
Funny, I was talking about the meeting at the Wikid Productions meeting. I was telling him we've got this live action project in the works, very secret. We can't tell you anything about it. We're keeping hush hush about it. Just know that it's our first big project. That's all I was able to let them tease. You know, I didn't even tell them whose project it was. You know, who's the lead behind this project. You know? So it's kind of like me and Matt Bryant, my business partner, are trying to keep it under the wraps a little bit and keep it secret. But be on the lookout for some coming soon from Wikid, and then a whole slew of new podcasts and shows really soon as well. We had a very productive business. We came up with a lot of shows last night, and some podcasts and stuff. So a lot of stuff to look forward to.
And I think this would be a good idea for later down the road when we're all making a significant amount of money from this. But Wikid Heist.
You mean this GTA?
Well, not just GTA, but also games like Red Dead Online and others. Other open world type games.
Well, I wonder if you would be interested. I figured you would because I mentioned it, but one of the games that Scott talked about yesterday was Fireteam Wikid, and it's his idea would be that it'd be him and Chuck and whoever else wants to come on as well, rotating. You can have guests and stuff too, and then basically the idea would be to play video games, like different multiplayer games and stuff. So that could. I told him that you would probably want to play Deceit first thing.
Oh yeah.
I told him he'd been trying to get us to play, so I was like, Matt is definitely going to want us to play Deceit on there.
Well, it's a fun game.
Yeah, I know. I need to check it out. I'd like to give it a try myself. Did you hear Cyber Punk 2077 got pushed back?
Yep.
Are you surprised at all?
No, not really.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm not surprised either.
They're the kind of it's the kind of company that wants to make sure that we got the best possible product, unlike say EA.
Right, exactly. It's much better to push the game back to make sure it's right to go. That Ubisoft decided to do that with the new Watch Dogs game. It was going to come out in March, and now they pushed it back to an undetermined date. They need like 6 months more at least to work on it.
Yeah, I think they've all learned from EA's debacles.
Yeah, seriously, it's hard not to, right? I mean, they epically failed. I mean, and not only that, but not just EA, but BioWare. BioWare in particular, because of BioWare's legacy. They've just tarnished their legacy.
Yep.
It's really sad to see that.
But that's been pushed on as EA pushing deadlines.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which I understand their business. They have to push deadlines, but they need to also be able to adjust to the whole thing. if there's an issue with the game, hey, we're going to have to deal with that.
We're not just going to put out a subpar product because we said we would put it out at a certain time. That's that old adage of you can. Well, I think I was just talking about this with someone. It's like you have cheap, fast, and well, and you can only choose two. You can't have all three. So the idea is like if you want it fast, you can either have it cheap or you can have it well, but you can't have both.
Yep, and
so
to a degree, I can understand a lot of delays for stuff like video games because video games just has a lot of variables that could go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're larger production, so a lot of people working on it and stuff.
And you don't see any of the programmers goofing off any on Twitter or YouTube either. They're all working on it. Their projects.
Very true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I definitely think it's a good trend. I'm glad to see that happening more often.
Same.
I think that's ultimately for the good. So you finished The Witcher, right?
Yep.
Would you recommend it for people who haven't read the book or played the game?
I would say read the book so that you have a basic idea of how the timelines go, because they don't explain anything.
Why do you think they decided to do that?
I think they're trying to imitate the Christopher Nolan style of for time. So
it doesn't necessarily work though in a fantasy setting, I feel like. Like, for example, I understand one of the timelines is like 30 years later.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're pursuing 3 different stories. So those 3 stories are set in different time periods. But the thing is, whereas Yennefer and Geralt have theirs take place in the past, we don't know how far in the past for each of them. If they're taking place at the same time or what.
You
there?
Well, there's 2 of me. What the heck?
That sounds like my nightmare.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I only need one of me. I don't want to have to deal with another one. Well, I went through another channel, so I apologize about that. But
all right.
My laptop is getting low on battery here. I have about 31% left. So we'll probably have to wrap up here pretty quick. But yeah. So I don't know. I think that if they had made them old, I might help to understand a little better. Well, but I guess that doesn't work with the story.
Well, when it comes down to it for The Witcher, it shows when I went too much for the fans, essentially, where you make it so. And I'm definitely not saying this as not against fans. It's just more along the lines of storytellers should probably be careful when doing adaptations, because it can cause some issues with bringing in a newer audience.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's go ahead.
Yeah, and then there's also doing too much to try to get into new fans into it, because there are some problems where the writer will just go and make it completely inaccessible for fans too. So it's kind of like, so when you're talking about going to fans,
like
it's
World
kind
War Z
of
almost, right?
22. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like on the one hand, you can make it Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings is a perfect example of how to do it right. I think, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's the perfect level of fan engagement and callbacks. You know, new understandable and new crowd who don't have. So I think that's a great way to do it because I know with World War Z it's almost nothing. It's pretty much nothing like the books at all. So it's like the exact opposite spectrum, you know, where you go into the audience who like the book, you don't really care about what they're looking for.
Yeah, basically, Lord of the Rings trilogy had the basic structure of Lord of the Rings, but they made it so that they made it their own, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
speaking of,
if you were to what?
Oh no, what were we gonna say?
No, if you went to I went to read the books after watching the movies, you're gonna find that there was a lot of changes to the characters, such as Merry and Pippin are not the troublemakers that they were in the books and the movies. They were respectable hobbits.
That's interesting. Yeah. I guess there was some adaptations being done. You know, when Peter Jackson was turning it into a movie, some things kind of got changed, maybe a little bit here or there.
Well, something.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We're gonna. So I'm heading into some hills now. My connection might start to get choppy, so it might be best that we start wrapping it up here.
Yeah, probably a good idea. We did get all do all the Twitter stuff earlier where people can catch.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. So I guess we can just we can end it there. But but yeah, after the hills, I go through a tunnel and then I go underground.
Yeah, that's not gonna be good for your connection.
Not usually. Okay, well, so you did, go follow them on Mythoverse Twitter, check out their YouTube channel. Be on the lookout for a new crowdfunding campaign in the near future, and then we will talk to you guys on the next podcast. Go ahead, obviously follow us at Wikid Publishing on Twitter. You can like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and then also check out our store at. I'll post a link for the store in the chat here. Currently, we have a bunch of comics on there, but we have like a bunch more coming out. We have like 3 more coming out this month, and more on the way after that. So definitely check it out, and be on the lookout for all the new stuff we have. And thanks again, guys. We appreciate you if you join in with us today, and we'll see you next time on the Wikid Weekend Podcast. Take care.
Later, guys.